Hello, bankers. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. Welcome to another session. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. So, quickly join in so that we can start our today's discussion. All right. So, everyone, quickly join in. कैसे हैं सब लोग? All good. Audio and video is fine from my side. So, we have Susil sir, Ashma ma'am, Akhilesh sir. Very good evening to all of you guys. चलो तो in this particular session we are going to start with our module C of AFM, right? So when it comes to module C, it include areas. The first unit is all about an overview of financial management. You can expect 1 or 2 marks question based on this. Then we have ratio analysis, 2 marks, 2 to 3 marks. Then we have interest and annuities. One question around CI and SI. Sometimes they ask question rule of 72 also, a gift question. And one question whether it is around annuities or आपका EMI. Mostly it is about the EMI things. Then we have YTM. The good thing is they have recently asked theorems आपका in I and IFS also. So mostly they'll go for the bond valuation, YTM, yield to maturity, and current yield that get asked every time. We have Forex arithmetic, the next subtopic and next topic under this. Then we have capital and capital structure and investment. At least 4 to 5 marks question based on this, even more than that. Leasing आपका lease finance, they also ask in I and IFS. Again, you can expect 2 marks question, easy. Working capital आपका another one. Derivatives. Is there any question in derivatives आपका from derivative in your I and IFS? So again, you can expect some sort of repetition around the type of derivatives or the different types of derivatives and mostly the emerging one, right? So that is something which generally comes under this particular one. So shall we start, guys? Everyone, quickly join in. So when it comes to your overall module C, we have many areas. Bit important one, reason being people they generally get scared of this particular topic itself sometime, right? So like what we will be working around similar what we have done for A and B. So module A and B we have done in detail. So if you have missed that particular one, please do watch those particular one. And PDF we have already uploaded, so go through those particular one, do revise with the help of that particular one. Okay, so yes, when it comes to your first unit आपका financial management and overview, so it is all about why like financial management is important one kind of. So we have the form of business which are generally part of this one, then objective of financial management, risk return trade-off, agency theory and stakeholders theory, ethics and responsibilities. All these are generally part of this particular curriculum, right? So when it comes to financial management, this is something आपका कि what we want to maximize the owner's capital or the money which is invested by the investors or the shareholders in that particular business, and within the legal premises as well as following the ethical norms and all, right? So nowadays we follow a theory called stakeholders theory. Stakeholders theory means whenever like shareholders they generally appoint the management, means the board of directors, and board of directors they actually run the business on behalf of shareholders. So whenever they are making decision, they must consider all the stakeholders who all getting affected with that particular one, right? So with sir, Srinandini ma'am, very good evening. Just allow me 1 minute, huh? I need to read. Can you see me now, guys? Everyone? Okay. So when it comes to the financial management, basically it is how effectively we are using the overall resources in the organization, right? Now we have different type of companies. So we have sole proprietorship, which is run by one person. आपका no legal distinction between owner and firm, and आपका minimum regulation. Partnership firm, minimum to maximum 50 आपका, except banking case. Yesterday there was a question around this. and ma'am answered this question also, right? So based on the agreement and registration is not mandatory. Indian Partnership Act, we generally work under here. We have LLP, which is a combination of partnership firm and joint stock company, separate legal entity with perpetual succession. LLP Act 2008, which mandatory for the registration. We have HUF, ठीक है? So where we have senior most male members who generally had this particular one known as Karta. It is exist by birth, not by contract, governed by the Hindu laws. Company, joint stock company, separate legal status. We have read around these particular one in module B itself, right? Cooperative societies, आपका this and the areas itself. So this just have given the introduction of this particular one. So when it comes to objective of financial management, आपका कैपिटल सप्लाई, ऑप्टिमम यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेज, साउंड इन्वेस्टमेंट, आपका ऑप्टिमल स्ट्रक्चर, स्टैच्यूटरी एडरेंस, objective balance and risk management, these generally comes under this particular one, right? Very easy one. CSR also part of this one. I hope everyone remember this. Chalo. Now with few question, let's go through all these particular question and try to answer these. So if you face any challenges, so I can help you out with that particular one, right? So first question on your screen, guys, please quickly go through this. So with reference to form of business and organization and financial management, you have to consider the following statement and you have to find out the correct one. So a sole proprietorship is taxed as a personal income of the proprietors because it does not create any differences between individual and firm itself. Partnership firm has a separate legal entity distinct from the partners under the Indian Partnership Act 1932, which is आपका wrong है, right? So it is basically a combination of partners, right? A maximum number of partners in partnership firm are restricted to 50. That is true. The next one is yesterday we got confused around 20. Huh? Please do remember this. That's why I intentionally kept this question. LLP does not have a separate legal existence from its partners. It does. Okay? So LLP is it is similar to your आपका business entity concept which is applied on LLPs. HUF आपका come into existence through the agreements? No. It is by birth, means 1 in आपका 3. 1 in 3 means option A will be right answer for this particular one. Correct guys? Everyone? Any doubt on this particular one? Please do let me know so I can help you out with that particular one. Next one आपका financial decision in a firm. So financial decision in a firm involve the acquisition and utilization of capital funds in line with the आपका organization objectives. Then capital structure refer only the proportion of equity, preference shares used in financing a firm. While the selecting sources of finance, optimization of the firm weighted average cost of capital, an important objective. Capital budgeting decision आपका relate only to extension of आपका businesses, do not include replacement of existing asset. Working capital management involve trade-off between liquidity and profitability, which are generally in आपका inversely related and all, right? So what will be your correct answers? Okay, many people are saying C. The first statement is right here. Financial decision, a firm involve the acquisition and utilization of capital funds line. Capital structure, when it comes to capital structure, it include a combination of equity and debt, right? So unit number 23 is all about this only, right? So equity and debt, not only equity आपका, so that is wrong here. Third statement, selecting sources of finance, optimizing the weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital, which is a combination of cost of equity into cost of debt आपका, sorry, cost of equity plus cost of debt. So weighted average cost of equity plus weighted average cost of debt. This is आपका statement 3, which is correct here. Statement 4, Capital budgeting decision relate only extension of business, do not include replacement. It does include आपका replacement things also, right? Working capital management involve trade-off between liquidity and profitability, which is generally inversely आपका related. Inversely related means highly liquid assets आपका or safer assets, they are having low profitability, means low interest आपका, and the vice versa kind of, right? So 135 means option C will be right answer for this. Very good guys, awesome. आज बिल्कुल silently देख रहे हैं एकदम सब लोग, all good ना, सब कुछ बढ़िया है, ठीक है, everyone everything is fine guys. Okay, the second one, the next one, आपका risk return trade off implies with higher potential return are associated with higher level of risk. Lower level risk generally yield आपका lower return. Answer this question. The risk return payoff is आपका something like this, right? So let's say this is your risk and this is your return. So lower the risk, lower the return, higher the risk, higher the return. In venture capital, we have higher risk, higher return. In saving account, we have lower risk, lower return, right? So that is the case आपका. तो means first statement seems आपका 100% true. Required rate of return is calculated आपका risk free return plus risk premium. This is also correct. An increase in the lead to reduction in the risk premium, thereby lowering the required rate of return. An increase in the risk lead to reduction in the risk premium. It is increment in the risk premium and it should increase the required rate of return अगर किसी चीज में high risk होगा. If we are having high risk in any instruments, so we are expecting high return also. Government bonds generally consider risk free. The profitability of default is extremely low. Probability of default is extremely low. True है. Agency theory mainly focus on balancing the interest of all stakeholders. No. For corporate governance, we have two theories. One is agency theory. Agency theory is all about maximizing the आपका wealth of promoters. ठीक है, please do remember this. When it comes to agency theory, it is all about, it focus around the increasing the wealth of आपका promoters or the owners, and or agency theory where basically, sorry, agents, that is shareholders theory, agency theory, and even that work around that one. Agency theory is something ki we have four theories. Agency theory, आपका stewardship, shareholders and stakeholders theory. ठीक है, so agency theory is not all about this. This is what they generally want. They want to maximize their own interest in the business. So it is based on the strict monitor or control things आपका, right? So 1 to 4 stakeholders theory, which is all about where we generally take care around all the stakeholders, not only the owners or the managers of that particular business. Very good guys. So option A will be right answer for this particular one. Correct है. Next one आपका, next one. So section 135 of Companies Act mandate companies to spend at least dash percentage of their average net profit of preceding dash years on CSR activities. Very simple one. What will be your correct answer? So it is आपका 2% and 3 years. So option A only will be right answer for this particular one. Very good. I guess easy आपका, right? So half marks and 1 marks both are the considered in this. Consider the following statement about business ethics and code of conduct. Ethics is again very important topic. In PPB, you will be facing business आपका ethics. Ethics is basically all about rightfulness and wrongfulness. What is right, how to achieve that right. What is wrong, how to avoid that wrong. It is a philosophical topic आपका, right? Philosophy है इसमें पूरी. So like we have different theories आपका, deontology, utilitarianism, consequences based, or we have your virtue ethics and all, right? So when it comes to ethics in organization, it is all about the fairness, transparency in all the activities. So companies known for high value ethics आपका experiences, higher brand value, increase market share, like company like Tata. So they have built an image in the market. So whenever they come up with any product, they have easy acceptance for that particular product in the market itself. Workplace diversity and fair employees compensation are included in principle of ethics आपका. Business ethics directly improve the production speed and efficiently manufacture. No, it is not about like business ethics is all about these are the norms how as our organization is going to interact with others. So when you part of that organization, ethics is all about others, how you are going to interact with others. The person of a good image, good boy image hoti hai na, that is the one. So it is ethical norms or ethical principle is all about कि how we generally interact with others or outsiders and all. ठीक है, A will be right answer for this. So this was your introduction. All right, चलो now अब आते हैं हम लोग आपका आज के डेंजर जोन में. आई कैन अंडरस्टैंड, आई कैन स्मेल योर साइलेंस टुडे कि बिकॉज मॉड्यूल सी इज समथिंग विच इज for those who like finance, it is very interesting. Those who do not like finance, it is very dangerous. हाँ, चलो तो अब आते हैं ऑप्शन फर्स्ट आपका रेशियो एनालिसिस. सी गाइस, यू डू नॉट हैव टू गेट स्केयर्ड विद दिस. बहुत आसान है. You have to work around some important areas that I'll try to help you in this particular session. So just focus on those particular areas. They'll help you to get आपका or to maximize your marks in upcoming examination. So yesterday I suggested few topics. I hope you guys following those particular one. So when it comes to ratio analysis, it is part of the interpretation. Interpretation means you remember that journey आपका. We have the first recording, classifying, summarizing, then आपका reporting. So now we have reported everything, right? Now the another one is कि like as a layman, if I have to analyze some companies, let's say if I have to invest in stock market, I do not have that knowledge of balance sheet, profit and loss account, and even the another reason is I do not have that much of time to go through all the companies आपका balance sheet and everything, right? So what the solution is आपका ratio analysis, the interpretation part. We have developed some financial model which will help me to make the decision, or there'll be one tool आपका basically like let's say tool like EPS, earning per share, or PE ratio, which is part of your curriculum. So we will be talking around that one only. DPS is also part of this CAPM, but that is not part of your curriculum. Just avoid those. So we will be using आपका these tool to make the decision. If I have to, as a manager of the business, if I have to know the profitability of different section, so I'll apply the tool like we will go for the gross profit, net profit margin or ratios, or overall profitability, ROI आपका, return on investment, return on assets. As a banker, if we have to analyze the financial statement of a company, so we will, let's say if the company is asking for working capital loan or any cash credit and all, you will go for the liquidity ratios. If they are asking for project appraisals or long-term solvency or anything आपका long-term loan, term loan and others, you will go for आपका डेट टू इक्विटी रेशियो, डेट रेशियो, इंटरेस्ट कवरेज, आप पे आउट कवरेज, इंटरेस्ट DSCR, ठीक है. So these are the different one. So first thing, this is the case. Now the limitation of these particular ratios is they are purely based on the historical data. What happened in past, they are reflecting things based on those past data. They cannot, based on these outcome of these particular ratios, we are trying to predict the future. It is not like things will always be same, right? So that is the case. Up from here, there are some ratios. They have given limited ratios, guys. You just have to remember those particular ratios. If you remember those ratios, but the two requirement, one is you have to remember the ratio things. If you remember the ratio, you will be easily able to answer the question, even if it is in the form of numericals. Mostly the question is around the your आपका liquidity ratios, the asset test ratio or debt to equity ratio, or sometime if they ask you gross profit, net profit, they can ask you gross profit margin, net profit margin, if they'll not ask in this one, they'll definitely ask in RBWM. So that is the case itself, right? So when it comes to calculators, yes, Jyoti ma'am, calculator is allowed in your examination, and this calculator is allowed. Okay, this is called आपका 12-digit calculator, then manual calculation. Okay, yes. How many marks? आपका Muniswamy sir started calculating marks. Just focus on the topic. चलो, 2-3 marks you can expect. Mostly what we have experienced in past, 2 question आपका to solve the ratios. ठीक है, last time it was acid test ratio, means quick ratio. One question was around your आपका that debt to equity or something else. Solvency ratio was there. ठीक है, तो 2 ratios you can expect, or 1 theoretical. Fundamental aspect is more important, again up equally important basically. So when it comes to classification, we have 2 type of ratios. One is आपका traditional ratio. We have classification as per profit and loss account, balance sheet and composite. In case of profit and loss account ratio, we are using both the component from profit and loss account. Means like we are comparing 2 elements of profit and loss account. When it comes to आपका balance sheet ratios, we are comparing 2 elements of balance sheet only. Like let's say asset versus आपका outside liability. That is the one. Composite is basically one component from your आपका balance sheet, profit and loss account. Another component is from balance sheet. That is your composite. So earlier we used to have this kind of classification, right? ओके हाँ, दिस वन ठीक है, ये है ना एक नॉर्मल कैलकुलेटर आपका हर्षल सर, दिस नॉर्मल कैलकुलेटर आपका किराना शॉप वाला कैलकुलेटर, राइट? साइंटिफिक कैलकुलेटर इज नॉट अलाउड, इट इज कॉल्ड 12-digit कैलकुलेटर, हाँ, दैट इज अलाउड इन दिस केस. तो नाउ when it comes to functional classification, we have profitability ratios, we have turnover activity ratios, or we have short term and long term. In your curriculum they have very minimal one, so just focus around those particular one only. So now before coming to the ratios, some fundamental aspect, limitation one is very very important, that get asked many time in your examination. Okay? What are the limitation of financial ratios? That get asked many time in the examination. So the uses, the application of ratios is basically simplifying the financial statement. As I told you ki as a layman I do not have knowledge, or as a banker you do not have time to compare everything, so you are using ratio as a tool, but you want something that can quickly measure up, right? Then we have aapka facilitate inter firm comparison, like EPS of one company versus EPS of another company. Facilitate आपका इंट्रा फर्म कंपैरिजन, प्रोडक्ट वाइज आपका, और द बिजनेस लाइन वाइज कंपैरिजन. इट हेल्प अस इन आपका प्लानिंग एंड forecasting also. This is something which is very very important one. आपका I'll bet highly on this one. You can get this particular one for 1 marks in your upcoming examination. ठीक है, this Sunday only. So when it comes to ratio analysis, the limitations of ratio analysis. So we have these areas. ठीक है, this is called आपका limitation of ratio analysis. First, आपका comparative study. So ratio are useful only when compared with the past result or the आपका competing firms. Standalone ratios have limited predictive power. ठीक है, first thing. Second, inherent आपका statement limitation, ठीक है, based on historical आपका non-financial आपका changes which it does not include. Non-financial changes means like let's say some key leaders who left your organization, so you are not considering that particular things, right? Window dressing can be happen with this particular one. So account can be manipulated to show a better position, so that will show something else आपका. So that kind of things. High price level changes, inflation does not the historical cost, and ratio does not account that particular one. No fixed standard, there is no universal ratio आपका ideal ratios. What is ideal depend heavily on specific industry firm in this. So that is something. So these are the limitations of the ratio analysis that get asked many times in your examination. So you have to be very careful around this particular one. All right, guys, this is fine. Now, whatever ratios given in your book, let's go through those particular ones. So when we have ROI, return on investment, this is also known as overall profitability. You have to remember all these particular things, right? The first, operating profit divided by capital employed. So into 100. So that is the first ratio. Now I have kept all the ratios after in one go. So that is something you can easily interpret. Operating profit is basically your profit before आपका tax, interest and taxes. ठीक है? So then like that is also known as EBIT, earning before interest and taxes. ठीक है? आपका this is your operating profit. Capital employed means आपका with this is here it is mentioned sum of long term funds, share capital reserve, long term loans minus आपका fictitious asset. ठीक है? So the money which is contributed by owners as well as the long term loan taken by the company. Then another one we have EPS, earning per share. See, believe me guys, 90% time if you remember these formulas na, so you will be able to solve the question. Okay? So they'll give you just numbers. Based on those numbers, you have to apply the one and you will be able to solve. So that's why this is the priority. So when it comes to net profit after tax minus आपका it should be minus आपका dividend on preference shares EPS, number of आपका outstanding shares. So that is the case. Third one is आपका price to earning ratio. These two get asked many times. Because this is also part of your RBWM examination. Unit 4 आपका profitability, branch profitability if you remember that one. And every time they ask one case study around that particular one. So ROI आपका and ROA, that is generally get asked, or net profit, gross profit also. But this is something which is very, very important one. And they didn't ask any question around this from last in 2025. So highly expected means EPS आपका, basically it is something like that. Okay, let's say a company is having a total number of shares. Total number of shares are supposed that 1 crore. Profit after tax is supposed that आपका 10 crores. Dividend आपका distributed by company is supposed that 2 crores. And the current market price of the company is supposed that 350 rupees, right? So if I'll ask you to calculate the PE ratio and EPS, I hope everyone will be able to calculate this. How you will calculate this one? The your EPS will be profit after tax 10 crore minus आपका 2 crores dividend. If not given, just avoid this one. ठीक है? Number of shares is आपका 1 crore. So the EPS of this particular company is ₹8. EPS is आपका ₹8. Now PE ratio, current market price, which is how much? 350 divided by 8. So this is your आपका the outcome 350 divided by 8. What is the number? 350 divided by 8 is equal to 43.75. 43.75 is the आपका PE ratio of this particular company. ठीक है? As simple as that. But believe me, whenever they'll give this question, in your question they'll ask PE ratio. ठीक है? In my experience, whenever they test this particular portion, they'll ask PE ratio. So PE ratio they'll ask and they'll not mention EPS. ठीक है? So because PE ratio you have to, or first you have to calculate this. They'll give you this kind of number and then they'll ask you to calculate the PE ratio. So that means आपका first you have to calculate EPS. The way is same and you will get 2 marks for that one. Downside, right? चलो. Apart from this, when it comes to the another one, so we have operational margin. This is again highly expected. This can be asked with your previous areas also, right? आपका सर हम लोग न्यूमेरिकल का अलग से सेशन करने वाले हैं. आप बताओ दिव्यांग सर. आई वॉज प्लानिंग कि पहले एक बार इसको कंप्लीट कर लेते हैं. ठीक है? एक सेशन मेरे को पूरा फुल फ्लेज आपका कॉन्सेप्ट वाला करना है INIFS की तरह, बिकॉज दैट विल हेल्प यू लॉट. और एक सेशन न्यूमेरिकल का कर लेंगे बिकॉज मोस्टली विल हैव टाइम आपका, राइट? तो लास्ट डे हम ना न्यूमेरिकल का सेशन कर लेंगे, उससे पहले कॉन्सेप्ट का कर लेंगे. ठीक है? नो वरीज दिव्यांग सर. चलो, तो व्हेन इट कम्स टू ग्रॉस, अब ये देखो बहुत ही आसान है. दिस इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी वेरी इजी. तो अब बट द थिंग विल नॉट लाइक यू हैव टू कंसीडर कि हाउ टू कैलकुलेट आपका ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट. ठीक है? तो ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट कैसे कैलकुलेट करना है, दैट कैन बी पार्ट. So you remember that one? Yesterday we talked about gross profit is equal to net sales minus cost of goods sold. Now, first they'll give you figure around this particular one. If the question is for 2 marks, they'll give you figure आपका कि like let's say the net sale is of the company is suppose that 10 crores and sales written is suppose that 2 crores and cost of goods sold is suppose that आपका 3 crores. Now they'll ask you to calculate the gross profit margin. They are not asking you to calculate gross profit. They are asking you to calculate the gross profit margin. अब देखो उन्होंने थोड़ा सा एक स्मॉल ट्विस्ट आपका लेके आए हैं. You do not have to get scared with this because you know the fundamentals, right? The gross profit of this particular company is 8 minus आपका 3, which is 5 crore. Gross profit is 5 crore. Now you know the formula. तो 5 crores आपका divide by 10 crores, sorry 9 crores आपका net sales, ठीक है, net sales 8 crore, sorry 8 crore into 100. So that is your answer for this particular one. First one. Similarly, net profit also. With that net profit calculation, they can ask you to calculate the net profit margin. So net operating profit divide by net sales into 100. Same formula you will be using here also. Okay? Got it, guys? Everyone. If you're having any doubt, please do let me know. So far we have 5 formulas. This, these 3, and आपका these 2. The next one we have solvency ratios आपका, ठीक है? Solvency ratios, long term basically. When it comes to this particular one, okay, this one, which one ma'am आपका, Pavitra ma'am? So when it comes to gross profit, you know how to calculate gross profit. Yesterday only we talk about this one. The gross profit is equal to net sales minus आपका cost of goods sold, ठीक है? So yesterday we talk about this. Like let's say if I give you some numbers, okay, you have to calculate the gross profit. How? Let's take one another example. So suppose that a company whose आपका gross sale is suppose that आपका 5 crores and sales written is suppose that 50 lakh. Discount allowed by the company is suppose that 50 lakh, and opening stock is suppose that your opening stock is suppose that 1 crore. Purchase during that particular period is suppose that another 1 crore, and closing stock is suppose that 50 lakh, and direct cost is suppose that 50 lakh. If I'll ask you to calculate the gross profit, निकल जाएगा सबसे. What will be your gross profit? The gross profit will be your how we calculate gross profit? Net sales. So net sales in this particular case, gross sales minus आपका this minus this means it is आपका 4 crore. Gross net sales is equal to 4 crores आपका. Cost of goods sold is equal to direct cost, which is, what is the formula? Opening stock plus purchase plus direct cost minus आपका closing stock. So what is the total of this? Opening stock 1 crore plus purchase 2 crore. आपका closing plus this 2.5 crore minus this. So it is आपका 2 crores. So total आपका this is 2 crores. The gross profit of this particular business is how much? Gross profit is 2 crores. Up with the same one, if they asking you to calculate the gross profit margin या gross profit ratio, so what will be your correct answer? Gross profit margin is 2 crore gross profit divided by net sales. Net sales is आपका gross sales minus this, which is equal to 4 crores. So 4 crores into 100. So that is the answer for this particular one. Pavitra ma'am, got it? Other also, guys. So when आपका this is your gross profit, अब let's say operating cost of this business, indirect cost is suppose that आपका 50 lakh, indirect cost is 50 lakh. So if I'll ask you to calculate net profit, so net profit is equal to gross profit minus operating cost. So that is equal to 2 minus आपका this, it is 1.50 crores. Net profit margin will be 1.50 crores divided by 4 crores into 100. That is your net profit margin for the business. Got it? Pavitra ma'am and other people also. If you're having any doubt, please do let me know. Huh? So I can help you out with this particular one. आगे बढ़ें? चलो. Next one we have solvency ratio. This is something which is a kind of a favorite area of examiner. आपका solvency ratios, long term solvency. mostly when we use solvency na, it is used with the long term only. But in general आपका when you follow any finance book, they have liquidity ratios and solvency. But in your book आपका in Macmillan book, how they have defined liquidity ratio, आपका solvency ratios, long term and short term. Short term solvency is equal to liquidity. ठीक है? Do not get confused. So here we have आपका first one, your fixed asset ratio. Fixed asset divided by long term funds. ठीक है? Fixed asset ratio is fixed asset divided by long term आपका funds. ठीक है? Long term funds. So which include, it should be like this is the industry size आपका, which should be area around this, and this is known as आपका satisfactory in this case. When it comes to debt to equity ratio, ये सबसे ज़्यादा बार पूछा जाता है debt to equity ratio. आपका debt divide by equity. ठीक है? So total debt, आपका total debt divide by equity. So that is your आपका debt to equity ratio into 100 आपका, because all will be in percentage only. So that is your case of this one. तो long term debt आपका divide by आपका long term funds or equity. So that is the case. We generally consider at 1:1. 0.5 आपका margin of safety to the creditors, which is generally known under this. So these two formulas. Now the most common or the most favorite one is आपका asset test ratio or liquidity ratio. It is defined as short term solvency. So current ratio, which is also known as working capital ratio, right? So it is current assets divided by current liabilities, in between a range of 1.2 to 2. So current ratio आपका. The another one is आपका liquidity or quick or asset test ratio. Quick or asset test ratio, which is how we calculate this. It is generally calculated as current quick asset divided by current liabilities also. ठीक है? So quick ratio is equal to आपका current assets, quick asset divided by current liability. Now what is the difference between these two? तो current ratio आपका, when we calculate the, it is current asset divided by current liability. Anything which will give benefit within 12 months, including आपका prepaid expenses as well as your prepaid expenses and inventory stock आपका. That is, inventory and stock is part of your current asset. But when it comes to quick asset, how you calculate the quick asset? Quick asset is equal to current asset minus inventory minus आपका prepaid expenses. ठीक है? Prepaid expenses आपका, that is only one. In your book, they have mentioned only inventory, but prepaid expenses also get minus from this one. That is your quick asset, nothing else. Current will be remain same आपका. So that is the case. ठीक है? Asset ratio आपका, fixed asset is, when it comes to fixed asset, so it is आपका, how we define fixed asset means that आपका the asset which we have created with the business, non-current. It is kind of a relation between non-current asset and आपका मतलब long term asset versus long term loan, non-current आपका liabilities. It is आपका a relation between non-current asset means property, plants, equipments, goodwill, patent, copyright, उन सब का total divide by it is solvency, because non-current liability. So the long-term sources of funds आपका, ठीक है? So liability plus आपका owner's capital, the long-term loan plus आपका equity contribution in that case. Santosh sir. So this is your basically the non-current asset versus non-current liability, including equity portion. That's generally part of this particular one. Okay. So this is the another one आपका, which is generally part of this particular case. Got it? Santosh sir, shall we move forward, guys? Pradeep sir, very, very good evening. Done? Next one we have stock turnover ratio. Okay. So stock turnover ratio, it is calculated cost of goods sold during the year means आपका direct cost. ठीक है? So direct cost आपका cost of goods sold is equal to direct cost. Direct cost involved in the production of that particular product divided by average inventory. Stock turnover ratio, and basically it indicate an investment in inventory is efficiently used. How company is using their आपका inventory management and all. So that's why operational आपका activities, how business is managing their resources. When it comes to debtors turnover ratio, ठीक है, so it is debtors turnover ratio और आपका basically it is average account receivables. So credit sales, how much credit sale we are doing. Credit sale means we are selling goods on credit. So and the average आपका account receivable during that particular period. So determine the firm liquidity and quality of debtors, how frequently they are making the payments or how quickly they are receiving money out of that particular sale. A higher ratio is better, indicating debt collection is promptly in that particular business. So that is something which generally comes under this one. So these are the ratios. Only these ratios are part of this one. Apart from this, they have given one list also here. So आपका like accounting ratios used by the long term creditors, user base आपका use base. तो fixed charge over a fixed charge over. So income before interest and taxes means EBIT आपका earning before interest and taxes divide by interest charges. Debt service coverage ratio आपका, ठीक है, they do not have explain these particular one in detail. If you go through the book also, examples are only around the previous ratios. So debt service coverage charges, cash profit available for debt service. Debt service means if you have taken some loan, how you are going to repay that particular one. Then we have आपका interest divide by आपका principal payment, interest plus principal payment आपका this. Basically it is showing the capacity कि how much debt they have taken so far, and if they are adding one another debt with your bank, do they have capacity to repay that particular one or not. Quick ratio, quick asset divide by current liability. Current ratio we have discussed. Earning per share, dividend per share, ठीक है. Earning per share also we have discussed, ठीक है. Dividend per आपका yield ratio, which is dividend per share divide by आपका market price per share. Quick ratio, quick asset, they will give direct value or no. In basically when you they'll ask question around this ना, mostly it is आपका 2 marks, ठीक है. Or there can be one case study also. While we have gone through the fundamentals now, I have defined that one. So sometime tougher to tougher side in CAIB, how it generally work. So let's say आपका this is your liability side and this is your asset side. Liability आपका they have given some long term, like let's say term loan of X capital of this. They have bills आपका sub bills payables. They have some let's say interest payable during that period or something else. This is आपका, and then asset size if they go for tougher side, ठीक है. Asset आपका they have cash, they have property, plants, equipment, machine, or they have आपका inventory, and they have आपका bills receivable in this case. So now based on this data, then they'll ask you how they generally ask if you'll go for the tougher side. So then they'll ask you to calculate quick ratio or current ratio back to back, or in CIB, JIB, it happened never. It is like they ask with the data itself. Ki how they'll ask you in your, this can be the toughest one. So the only thing is if you know ki what comes under current liability or what comes under the quick asset, the only thing. You just have to remember 2 pointers. If they, let's say, if they have given aapka current assets of the firm, or like let's say if they have given some areas like the company is having a cash of this 10 lakh, or they having inventory of 50 lakhs, they having suppose that your आपका cash equivalents, suppose that 30 lakh, and they having your bills receivables, suppose that 50 lakhs. And liability side आपका, the current liability of the company is suppose that 30 lakhs, right? Based on this data, if they ask you to calculate quick ratio, so if they ask you current ratio, you just have to add all these one. So this divide by this. If they ask you the current quick ratio, you just have to eliminate the inventory things. Or if prepaid, they'll not mention prepaid also. What I have experienced ki, whatever part of book only, they follow that particular one. So prepaid in general, if they mention prepaid also, just do आपका minus that one. So quick asset is equal to current asset minus आपका inventory minus prepaid expenses. So that is the one. Simply you have to remember this one. Okay? cash profit available for debt service means cash profit available for debt service means आपका debt servicing is something कि let's say if a company is taking loan, like let's say any company who approaches your bank for some sort of loan, ठीक है, they want suppose that 10 crore rupees loan आपका. Now before sanctioning that particular loan, you will check their repayment capacity. So debt service is basically कि how much debt they have already taken in past and how much cash they are generating from the operation. Do you have that much, that company is having capacity to repay that one or not? Like means let's say if we give them loan and every month we are asking for a EMI of suppose that 10 lakh for next 3 years. So do they have capacity or do they have enough sources to generate this much of money so that they can pay off your debt? So that is something related to this one. Harshal sir and Muniswamy sir. Got it, guys? So these are the areas. Now some question. Let's practice some question. So under the financial functional classification, which of the following correctly lists the three main APA categories? Profitability, आपका it is under the functional classification. Liquidity, profitability, leverage, profitability, turnover and financial. Solvency, profitability, turnover, financial. Current ratio, debt आपका 10, return on investment. Under the functional classification, which of the following correctly list the three main categories? So we have आपका profitabilities, the activity, and we have आपका solvency. Current, what you guys are saying, D. Balance sheet, no, it is first of all this is आपका traditional classification, not D आपका. Liquidity, profitability, leverage, this is part of this one also. Profitability, turnover, B must be right answer because profitability we have a list, turnover we have a list, financial we have a list, where we have solvency, long term and short term, right? Current, debt to equity, they both comes under the one category, that is your solvency. B must be right answer for this particular one. Why option B आपका देखो, see, first liquidity and leverage, they comes under the your आपका solvency ratios. Current ratio and debt to equity ratio, against they comes under the solvency ratio. Balance sheet आपका income and composite, this is your traditional classification. They are asking around the functional classification. When it comes to B, profitability, we have gross profit, ROI and all. Turnover आपका ठीक है activity base, and we have आपका financial solvency, long term and short term. So that's why option B आपका. हाँ, you got tricked with this one, guys. ऐसे कैसे? चलो next one आपका. Sometimes they ask this type of questions also. So consider the following statement for short-term solvency means आपका equal to liquidity ratios. ठीक है, liquidity ratios. Please do watch that concept video once after. You will see sequence wise question there and the practice also. हाँ सवित सर बताइए. B will be right answer. Okay, ठीक है. Rest आपका guys, everyone. So a current ratio in between 1.2 to 2 is generally satisfactory, right? The second one is your prepaid expenses and stock are included in calculation of liquidity quick ratio. No. Okay, just now we talk about this. A comparison of quick ratio and current ratio can indicate inventory overstock. Yes, this is true now. Why statement 3 is true? Because आपका quick ratio eliminating the inventory आपका, ठीक है, it is like in Quick ratio is something which I need. Let's say we are running some company, we need funds today. So other asset can be converted, but quick ratio inventory is something which will take time to get converted into cash. That's why we are not including this particular one in the category of aapka quick asset, right? So logically, if you understand that particular one, that will help you. Correct, guys? Okay. Next one. Dash is called return on investment. Numbers रखना भूल गया क्या मैं? Okay. So return on investment आपका overall profitability, ठीक है? Option A only will be right answer for this particular one. So which of the following are the uses of accounting ratios? Interfirm comparison, intra-firm comparison, help in planning, all. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have D will be right answer for this particular one. Next one. Okay. D will be right answer. Why option A, guys? E भी था क्या वहाँ पे? E, Muniswamy said there is nothing called E आपका. D will be right answer. These all आपका, ठीक है? All. That is the use of your आपका accounting ratios, guys. हाँ? चलो. Next one. इतने डरे सहमे मुझे पहली बार देख रहे हैं आप लोग, लाइक सोच सोच के आंसर कर रहे हैं. सुशील सर कहाँ हैं आप? आंसर करो. चलो. Everyone, guys, everyone. So what they are asking you in this case, a company has following balance sheet. We have shareholders funds 10 lakh, आपका long term debt which is your 8 lakh, and current liability is 2 lakh. So you have to calculate debt to equity ratio. So what will be your correct answer? So debt to equity ratio means आपका 8 lakh divided by 10 lakh, right? Debt is 8 lakh, long term debt basically, divided by equity is 10 lakh. So 8 lakh divided by 10 lakh is equal to 0.80:1. A must be right answer for this particular. Shiva sir, कहाँ गड़बड़ करे हो? Pradeep sir and other also. Manjunath sir changing the answer after marking the correct answer, changing the A must be right answer na. It is आपका debt basic, it is आपका, see you have to remember this comes, debt to equity ratio is a solvency means आपका long term, ठीक है? solvency means आपका long term आपका एस्पेक्ट अबाउट द बिजनेस, प्लीज डू रिमेंबर दैट वन, ठीक है? तो लॉन्ग टर्म डेट डिवाइड बाय इक्विटी, द प्रोपोर्शन. सो ऑप्शन ए इज द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. करेक्ट है? नेक्स्ट वन. घबराना नहीं है, इजी, टेक इट इजी गाइस. सो टू कंपनीज इन सेम इंडस्ट्री, आपका नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स ABC लिमिटेड एंड XYZ लिमिटेड, ठीक है? दिस इज डेटा अबाउट XYZ, दिस इज अबाउट आपका ABC. तो ABC लिमिटेड नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स एंड डिविडेंड आपका 200 लाख, नंबर ऑफ इक्विटी शेयर्स 50 लाख, मार्केट आपका प्राइस 120, नेट सेल्स आपका 800 लाख, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट दिस, नेट प्रॉफिट दिस. कुछ नहीं करना गाइस. इफ आई फर्स्ट, मतलब बिफोर इनिशिएटिंग द क्वेश्चन, व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, you have to calculate the, matlab this question back to back will give you many marks, right? So first you have to calculate the EPS, then you have to calculate the PE ratio, then you have to calculate the gross profit, and then you have to calculate the net profit, ठीक है? gross profit margin और ratio में confuse मत होना, both are same, ठीक है? तो now how we calculate EPS, आपका EPS is equal to नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स, ठीक है? प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स माइनस डिविडेंड डिवाइड बाय शेयर्स. जल्दी से कैलकुलेट करो. तो व्हाट विल बी योर करेक्ट आंसर फॉर दिस? पी रेशियो इज आपका करंट मार्केट प्राइस डिवाइड बाय EPS. देन आपका ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट इज इक्वल टू, your gross profit ratio is equal to gross profit divided by net sales into 100, and net profit margin is net profit divided by sales into 100. ठीक है, so this is the one and you know the answer for all these particular one. बताओ कौन बताएगा for firm A as well as firm B. अब यहाँ पे क्या हो रखा है, this they have मतलब one question which will give you a glance of all the ratios which we have discussed in this case. तो when it comes to आपका XYZ Limited, so net profit after 2 lakh is how much, 200 lakh. तो 200 divide by, it is dividend already minus from this one, number of shares which is आपका 50, so which is equal to 4. तो EPS is 4 आपका, ठीक है, EPS is 4 फर्स्ट, ठीक है, EPS is 4. सेकेंड वन आपका when I have to calculate the P ratio, तो current market price of this company is how much, 120 divided by 4, so which is equal to 30. this is आपका 30. ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट मार्जिन और ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट कितना है इसका, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट इज 240 लाख 240 डिवाइड बाय नेट सेल्स इज 800 लाख, ठीक है, 800 आपका into 100, so it is 30%. gross profit is आपका 30%. and आपका net profit is how much, आपका net profit is 96 lakh, 96 divide by gross net sales 800 into 100, so it is 12%. 12% is net profit. ये समझ में आया इतना, yes or no? You got this one? So this is for the company ABC Limited, what we have calculated here. Same data you have for the company B also. A company B, your 150 lakh, 25 lakh, ठीक है, so let's calculate for the company also, ठीक है, so 150 आपका divide by 25, so which is equal to 6. तो EPS earning per share is आपका 6. When it comes to PE ratio, current market price of this particular company is आपका 300 divided by 6, which is equal to 50. तो the आपका PE ratio, PE is basically आपका 50 in this case. Then third one is gross profit 180 divided by net sales is 600 into 100 is equal to 30. So gross profit margin is 30% and net profit is आपका 78 divided by net sale is 600 into 100, so it is equal to 13. So net sales is आपका, that is 13% of this. Now अब any doubt with this calculation? If you're having any doubt, because see, with one question you can understand 4 ratios आपका, right? So now first when it comes to this, ABC EPS is lower than XYZ. ABC का EPS is what, 4 and आपका this का EPS is 6, means आपका correct है first statement, ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, right? I'm going somewhere wrong or what? ABC's EPS is lower than, no, ABC's EPS is 4 ना, प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स 4 ही था ना इसका, नेट प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स. ABC's EPS is lower than XYZ. XYZ's EPS is 6 and this, हाँ this correct है, पहला statement is right here, right? The second statement आपका XYZ has a higher P ratio. XYZ has higher P ratio compared to this. तो आपका जिसका when it comes to the second one, ठीक है, so second one your XYZ P ratio is 13 and इसका P ratio was how much, कितना था इसका P ratio आपका, XYZ P ratio is आपका 13 and इसका P ratio was EPS does 30, no, ठीक है, तो this is आपका second statement is wrong here, right? XYZ 13 and this was आपका 30, ठीक है, जिसका 30 था, तो this is आपका wrong. थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज ABC ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो इज 30, which is indicate आपका selling price can fall below 30% of incurring the operational losses. This is आपका correct. That is the meaning of this. XYZ net profit is 13%. XYZ का net profit is 13%, which refers slightly आपका operation of this. इसका net profit was how much? 30%. Slightly better operational efficiency than ABC. No, this is also wrong आपका, right? The next one we have comparing only ROI would have been misleading, hence EPS P ratio will also use for this one. So do we have 135? 135 C must be right answer for this particular one. XYZ का P ratio is 50. अच्छा, okay, sorry, what was XYZ का P ratio? XYZ का P ratio is 50. हाँ, sorry. So what was the case? मतलब you got the concept now? Yes. This was I guess what we have calculated net profit margin. तो XYZ का P ratio is 50 means XYZ का P ratio is 50 means आपका कहाँ पे XYZ net profit ratio is, this is net profit ना, P ratio कहाँ पे है? ABC 30% which is indicate selling price, this is correct है आपका XYZ. चलो ठीक, मतलब you got the concept ना, ठीक है, you got the concept आपका irrespective of this one, ठीक है. तो this is something like we created this question कि आप एक बहुत अच्छे से इसको comparison कर सकें, right? तो option 2 आपका whatever you guys are saying that will be right answer for this particular one. You got the calculation guys, everyone? What answer is saying? D. ABC आपका 4 rupees and here it is आपका XYZ 6 rupees. पहला we have calculated wrong क्या? ABC 4 and आपका this statement itself wrong हाँ. Here it is आपका calculated, incorrect लिखा गया है. Do not go for this one, it will be आपका, ठीक है, B only. So the second one 50 and here it is 30. It is आपका 30%, 12%, 13% and rest all are correct. Got it, everyone? Pavitra ma'am, you got this particular one. Other people also. So how we can make this particular comparison? ठीक है. हाँ, that statement वाला fine. I'm not considering these one. Statement उतना tension नहीं है because you will not get this type of question actually. You will get question आपका simple आपका calculation, ठीक है. You will get आपका simple calculation. All are correct हैं क्या? मतलब like the comparison, I'm not even considering these particular statement. You got the comparison now, why it is important, ठीक है. तो first आपका the areas, like first वाला क्या कह रहा है? EPS 4 है, पहले वाले का कितना निकला था हमारा? 4 है and this is आपका how much? This is 6. EPS is ABC. हाँ, this statement wise आपका this is आपका correct, right? Fifth statement comparing only ROI would have been misleading. See, when it comes to ROI na, it is something ki it is the overall productivity, the outcome of the business, how you are generating the overall return. It is not just about the it is not only about ROI. As an investor, we do not take only one tool, we use multiple tools for the decision making itself, right? For 2 marks, they never ask that. Actually, this question I pick from directly from CAIIB. When you'll come to CAIIB, what they usually do, they give you one case study, then they'll give you back-to-back 3 question or 4 question for 1 marks. आपका इस तरीके से वहाँ पे case studies बनती हैं. So that's why we have आपका go for this one. ठीक है. Do it at last then. क्या हो गया सवित सर? आपका सवित सर, do I miss your any question? अच्छा नहीं, एग्जामिनेशन में नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. देखो बहुत आसान है, यू जस्ट हैव टू रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूलाज, ठीक है, यू जस्ट हैव टू रिमेंबर द फॉर्मूला. हाँ, तो इस तरीके से थोड़ा सा आप जाएंगे तो दैट विल हेल्प. अब इट इज नॉट ओनली अबाउट कि ऑलवेज यू विल गेट दिस काइंड ऑफ आपका थिंग्स, ठीक है. देयर मस्ट बी वन क्वेश्चन अराउंड द लिमिटेशन. आई जस्ट वांट टू प्रैक्टिस दिस. Sometime ना, when I gave this examination in October 23, so there was 0 question based on the numericals. एंड दिस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चन वॉज देयर, ठीक है. फंडामेंटल एस्पेक्ट आपका कि अ क्विक रेशियो इज विच जनरली शो दिस साइड ऑफ द बिजनेस or the other ratios they show the this side of business. So it is not only so the only thing is just understand the there are few things which we have discussed so far. Just keep those particular thing in mind, ठीक है. बाकी ऊपर वाले का नाम ले लेना है, बाकी सब बढ़िया होगा. ऑल राइट, चलो अब आगे बढ़ें. what will be your correct answer for this one? Who will answer this? Limitations. बाकी सब बढ़िया होगा, ठीक है. So that's why I recommended few topic from foundation. वहाँ पे what we have done sequence wise आपका हर एक ratio उसका question और limitation and everything. Go through that particular one once and twice. और if you are facing challenge with any specific topic ना, एक दो बार हाथ पार मान लिए नहीं समझ में आ रहा, leave it. मतलब do not waste your time. मतलब ज़्यादा टेंशन नहीं लेने की. It is only about every topic is having max to max weightage of 3 marks or 4 marks. तो 96 का पॉसिबिलिटी आपके पास फिर भी है. अब ऐसा नहीं कि लाइक ये भी एलिमिनेट वो भी एलिमिनेट सारे एलिमिनेट कर दिए देन आपका दिक्कत है. ओके, तो पवित्रा मैम इज सेइंग ऑप्शन डी विल बी राइट आंसर. Ratio are meaningful only when compared with the past performance or similar firms, but such comparison may fail to predict the outcome due to changing external and internal factors. That is a limitation. The another one is accounting fact ratios can fully capture non-financial. It does not capture the non-financial things. Differences in accounting policies across firm. Aapka this ratio in the comparison of the misleading. Yes, it can be if you are using different ratios and others. Window dressing can distort the ratio by manipulating the financial statement and all. Just now we talk about this. Accounting ratios are always reliable because they are based on audited financial. Therefore, they not require further scrutiny. No, these are not the sole decision maker, right? So ratio, they are based on the past things. And even if there is a manipulation and all, you cannot deal with this. So 134. 134 means option B must be right answer for this particular one. Correct? So option B will be right answer for this particular question. All good, guys? Numerical का weightage प्रफुल्ल sir, like 20 marks on an average you can expect, ठीक है, from all the unit. 20 marks आपका marks wise I'm telling you, ठीक है, 20 marks तक का areas you can expect based on this particular one. चलो, now next one आपका we have financial mathematics and calculation of interest. Just allow, I have to change this place, so just allow me आपका 5 minute. Okay, so just relax your mind also, and then we will be starting with this one, because here also there are many people having queries around the EMI things or annuities and all. So it will take after 40 minutes around to understand this areas and all. So we will be going through this particular one in detail. Right, simple interest, compound interest. I hope everyone know about this one. Even if you do not know, so we'll going through those. Annuity aapka and the EMI case. Three core areas which are generally part of this one. Okay. So just allow me 5 minutes, guys, and 5 minutes aapka. Then we will resume. So I'll change my location and just for 5 minutes. Huh? Okay, guys. So shall we start, Apka? Shall we start? So now the next unit which we have, that is your now everything is fine from my side, guys. Okay. So when it comes to the unit number 21. So unit number 21, which is all about your the areas like we have financial mathematics, calculation of interest and annuities. So as I said, like after two question every time they ask based on this unit. One is आपका calculation of SI, simple interest and compound interest, first question. The another question is around the EMI calculation mostly, or sometimes they go for the annuities also, right? So these are the course content which is generally part of this particular one. So first of all, when it comes to simple interest, simple interest, I hope everyone know about this particular one. Very simple, आपका, right? Simple is very simple. So we have to follow the formula P into R into T, right? So simple interest, the fee or interest paid by the borrower to lenders for using the lender's money is calculated only on original principal amount throughout the loan period. So the overall areas when it comes to this particular one, I for interest, principal, and we have annual interest rate, and we have your time duration, right? So when money is lent and borrow usually pay a fee to the lenders, interest. Simple interest is amount interest calculated based on the fixed percentage of the amount borrowed lent in this particular case, right? Very simple one. Okay, so now let's say any like we have discussed this particular one earlier also. Suppose that 12% per annum means a deposit आपका 100 rupees for 1 years will generate 20 rupee आपका. In calculation it is your 0.12 per annum, the percentage how we generally calculate this particular one. And the areas, the area, like let's say if somebody borrowed 5 lakh rupees at simple interest of suppose that 10% per annum for 5 years, right? So what will be your overall interest payable during that 5 years? So how we will calculating आपका? So interest is equal to P into R into T. So that is means your principal, which is 5 lakh, into R is 10%, which is equal to 0.10 into आपका T. T is आपका 5 years, right? So if I calculate this particular one, this will be 5 lakh into your 0.10 is, and into T is your 5. So it is equal to how much? 25,000, right? So 25,000 आपका, that is the interest which is paid by the customer on this particular one. So the overall principal plus interest, so 5 lakh 25,000, which is generally comes under this particular one. The another part आपका, like let's say the overall areas, suppose that 60,000 12% and for 2 years. So when it comes to 60,000 in 60,000 principal amount, 12% आपका rate of interest, T is 2 years. So 60,000 into 0.12 into 2. So this is the interest amount on that particular borrowing. The total amount, sometimes they'll ask you the total amount. So principal, which is 60,000 plus this, which comes to this. So simple interest is आपका, which you have studies many time, especially when you prepare for this particular examination and all. Now, when it comes to compound interest, the compound interest is something, it is interest on interest. Like let's say during first year we charge आपका, suppose that 100 rupees at the rate of 10%. So it is आपका next at the end of year it will become 110. Then आपका 10% on this. So in simple interest we are charging rate of interest throughout the period at a similar one on the principal, which is throughout the period remains same. But here it is whatever interest we are getting that get added in the principal, and we are adding the 10% itself. That written down value wala method na. So similar to this particular one. So compound interest is calculated not only on the original principal but also interest आपका accumulated for the previous period, like this 10 rupees aapka, which we have added here. That's why it become 110. So it is reinvested and earn आपका interest on itself. So it is interest on interest. So how we calculate this particular one? P1 plus R की power n. So here we have the written down value method can be calculated through this one also. So we have A आपका amount, then we have principal, then we have annual interest आपका, let's say any percentage, and number of time the interest is compounded per years into number of years आपका. Like let's say if it is the interest is payable on half yearly, so it is, and it is for 4 years, so 4 into 2, that will be your n in that particular case if it is half yearly. If it is quarterly, so 4 into 4. If it is aapka monthly, it is aapka 4 into 12. So that is something which you have to remember from this particular case itself, right? So how we generally go for this particular one? So aapka in simple interest, interest is charged only once, but in this case aapka interest on interest. So this is the formula. When it comes to the questions aapka, we will be practicing some question. The further bifurcation for all these particular one, weekly, half yearly, annually. So this is yearly, this is half yearly 2, then we have 4, then we have 12 yearly, and weekly aapka 52. You got this one? Easy one. Okay. So if we have this particular question, so how we will solve this one? So we have Mohan invested 5,000 rupees in a fixed deposit. Interest rate is 9% 9.8%, simple आपका, so 2 years. So what will be your correct answer for this one, guys? First, so what will be your answer for this question? Kuldeep sir, it's ECXOIO. ECXOIO. Organization code, that is this one. Okay, what will be your correct answer? Then we will be practicing aapka compound interest also. 980 something, right? $980. It is coming आपका P into R into T is equal to 980. तो interest payable during this period will be 980. Yes, correct है आपका everyone. Next one. Okay, this is also simple interest only. Sometimes they'll give you आपका the comparison between these two also. Huh? So a company 50,000, 12%, 3 years. I hope now everyone can solve this particular one. So if you'll calculate आपका, again simple, P into R into T, so it will come 68,000. Interest is 18,000. Principal plus interest आपका 68,000. Next one is, okay, this is also simple interest. This is your compound interest. A principal of 20,000 invested at annual interest rate of 10% compounded annually. So what will be the amount after 3 years? Now answer this one, guys. So amount is equal to P1 plus R की power T, right? So what will be your correct answer for this one? 20,000. Your आपका principal is equal to 20,000. 1 plus R. R is 0.10 की power T. T is how much? 3 years, right? So how you'll solve this one? 1.10 into 1.10 into 1.10. So what is the value? 1.1 into 1.1 into 1.1 is equal to 1.331 into 20,000. So it will come around 26,620 rupees, right? So that is the आपका amount which will be after 3 years, right? So yes, बिल्कुल सही, option B will be correct answer for this particular. How come D आपका Sairam sir? Okay, B only. Sorry. B आपका, that will be the right answer for this particular one. Next one, 2 हाँ 2 6 आपका 260. Next one. In scientific calculator that option is available, but here आपका in manual calculator ना it is not available sir. So Seal sir, in scientific calculator it is available, but in manual calculator we do not have that option. Anyone who know any short trick around that, please let me know. हाँ, so it is आपका compounded semi annually. ठीक है, it is आपका compounded semi annually means 2 into 2 आपका, ठीक है, so means 4 आपका. तो the formula is same, amount equal to principal आपका. So we have your what was the formula? So it is 1 plus r की power n, and we have nt time is 4. ठीक है, why 4? Because it is semi annual. So if you solve this particular one, it will come around 5000. So we have 5000 into, okay, 0.80 first. 5000 is equal to 0.088% divided by 2, and आपका if it 4. So if I solve this equation, or you can simply write it that 1 plus r also. You can use this particular one as a 5000 equal to 5000 into आपका 1.0, interest will become half, so means 4 की power 4, right? So it is half yearly, huh? It is half yearly, so that's why we have divided this. You can write it something like this also, or you can write it something like this also. 5000 into आपका 1.4 की power 4. Okay? Anyone who know any shortcut around this particular one, so they can mention. I need to see these. There is any charger? No sir. Kuldeep sir, I have uploaded in the आपका app section, so you can download from that particular one, huh? So you can, if you go to the application आपका material section, so you will get the subject wise PDF there. So what it is coming आपका 5000. Anyone? Why we take 4? Why we take 4 आपका? Because it is semi-annual. Harshal sir, it is semi-annual. Semi-annual means आपका, I have shown you some list also ना. That list is आपका 10, ठीक है. तो when interest is आपका compounding, so it is, if it is year आपका 1, so we have in first question we use this. Now the interest is आपका semi-annual. That 8% आपका which is payable on semi-annual basis means every 6 months they are releasing the interest. They are paying interest. Mostly in case of bonds आपका interest which is आपका paid in 6 months. So let's say that bond is offering 8%. So in semi-annual, that's why we divided by 2, and this we divided by आपका 4. ठीक है, this we divided by 2, and this we divide आपका multiplied by 2 itself. So earlier it was like that was 2 years, so 2 into 2 4 years. It is आपका divide, if it is quarterly, interest is divided by 4 and it is multiplied by 4. It is आपका 12 divided by 12 multiplied by 4 divided by 52 multiplied by 52. ठीक है, so that is the logic behind this one. Okay, so yes, so it is coming around. I know only आपका that multiplication वाला things. If anyone know 1.04 is equal to 1. It is coming around 1.136. Okay, into yeah 5%. So 5680. So it is coming around आपका 5680. So this will be the answer for this particular one. Correct? It is coming around 5680. How you have these? Okay, 5. You guys are saying ki the number are not correct. 5,000, it should come around आपका 5680 something. Any आपका changes in this particular one, guys? Muniswamy sir, 5849. Everyone is saying 5849. Just allow me 1 minute. Huh? So if we go for 5,000. It is coming around this particular one only. Where I have done some mistake or something else. 5849. 5849. 5849 आपका B will be right answer क्या? You have calculated this one, right? One. 1.04 into 4 is equal to this. Sorry. I calculated this wrong. Okay, it is coming 1.1698 into 5,000. हाँ बिल्कुल 5849. It is coming आपका 5849. 5849. So if like this answer is also wrong, I guess the numbers are not coming exactly. So just erase this one. Correct है? Okay. हाँ yes correct आपका. So it is आपका coming around this particular one. Okay, got it, guys. So two things: simple interest and compound interest. How we generally calculate these particular. Apart from this, आपका rule of 72. The next one we have rule of 72. This also we have discussed earlier. When it comes to rule of 72, it is all about your like it generally tells us the approximate numbers within how many, like how long it will take to double your income. Like let's say this is general query of the users or investor आपका. Sometimes they ask कि if they are investing at 5 lakh and interest rate is, suppose that we are offering 7% per annum on FD, so how long it will take to double from 5 lakh to 10 lakh आपका, right? So these generic queries आपका. So to solve these particular one, what we can do, we can apply आपका rule of 72. So here we have only rule of 72 in RBWM or PPB. In RBWM mostly आपका you have rule of 115 also, triple वाला and others, right? So it is आपका 72 divided by 7, right? So means 72 divided by the percentage of this, so it will take आपका 10 point आपका around approx आपका 10.3 years to double this particular income, right? Any doubt on this? This get asked earlier, like during 2020, 23, they used to ask this question every time. But nowadays, I haven't seen this particular one from many years. But if they ask, it is very easy. You do not have to do anything. You just have to divide whatever interest rate is given. Like let's say, if it is आपका 72 divided by 9%, or आपका 72 divided by 12, whatever the number it is, right? So that is something कि how long it will take to double. So this rule of 72, which generally tell us the approximate numbers of years before your money will double with yearly compounding itself, right? Next one. Okay, now next one we have two type of interest rate. One is your fixed interest, another one is your floating interest. So sometime they ask question around this one also, theoretical aspect. So the interest rate, if the interest rate remain up a constant throughout the entire tenure of loan, usually like in case of personal loan, we offer loan at a fixed rate of interest, right? It does not change even if market interest rate go up or go down. So that is the case. Floating rate is which is linked with some indices. Loan like home loans. So home loans, they are mostly linked with the repo आपका, right? Repo rate. So repo rate plus spread. So which generally change with any changes in that particular indices. So indices आपका, it can be MCLR or BPLR, anyone. So or the this one also. ठीक है. So variable or floating rate index link आपका loan. Interest rate change during the loan period according to the market condition. Linked to benchmark rate, it can be MCLR or repo and others. The benchmark rate increase or decrease, your loan interest will also increase or decrease in this case. ठीक है. Floating rate आपका with the market rate, yes. So mostly in, like let's say in case of home loans आपका, they are linked with the repo rate, right? So if like let's say it is repo rate plus 2.7%, suppose that. Now if repo rate will increase, so this the overall आपका interest on that customer will also increase. If repo rate will decrease, suppose that at the time when customer enter into the repo आपका loan agreements, it was 5.50%, ठीक है, repo. So 5.5 plus 2, आपका 5.5 plus आपका 2.7, that will be the effective rate of interest. Later on, repo rate came down to suppose that 5.25. So accordingly, there will be a reduction in this particular one. So that is something, the floating rate. So they are linked with some indices in that particular case. So fixed rate, which remain fixed आपका throughout the loan period. Floating rate आपका, which generally varies with the things. Apart from this, we have front end and back end interest rate also. So when it comes to front end आपका interest rate, so interest rate is deducted in advance from the principal amount. It is kind of a rent agreements. So when we first pay the rent, then we live in the premises. So the borrower receive आपका net amount. Basically what is happening in this particular case आपका कि let's say a customer who took a personal loan of 1 lakh, mostly digital lenders they do so. Okay. So the interest is suppose that 10,000 on this particular one. So what they'll do, they'll disburse आपका 90,000 only. That is आपका the principal in that particular one. So they are deducting this particular one. So आपका when a bank discount a bill, the calculate interest rate for the entire amount upfront, deduct from the bill amounts, customer get आपका remaining lower amounts. When it comes to back end आपका the EMI case or home loan and others, full amount आपका which is paid, we have paid 1 lakh rupees, then plus आपका this interest amount which we will be charging in the, which will be part of the EMI itself. So interest is charged later on monthly or quarterly agreed basis. Interest is usually calculated on the actual daily balances in the accounts and apply at the end of the period. So this is something आपका the back end that is called back end interest rate. Front end and back end, these two type of interest rate आपका. So bill discounting 2 lakh for 3 months, 16%. So 8,000 we will deduct. We will pay remaining आपका 1,92,000 to the customer. Here आपका we are charging, it's a normal loan case आपका where we are charging that interest portion is part of the EMI. When we design those particular EMIs, mostly initially we charge higher interest. Some bank they charge first 100% EMI interest portion, but in public sector mostly it is 80-90% of interest portion and 10-20% of आपका principal portion. Then gradually आपका principal portion will increase and आपका interest portion will increase in that particular case. Correct है? Next one, okay. Before coming to the EMI things आपका, let's go through this particular question. Okay, so what will be your correct answer, guys? So under the fixed rate आपका loan, the rate remain unchanged throughout the entire tenure of the loan, irrespective of market fluctuation. Floating rate आपका dependent on benchmark and revise during that particular floating rate. Interest rate generally independent of benchmark. No, it is dependent on benchmark आपका. This is wrong. Third statement, in floating rate, the interest rate typically linked to a benchmark such as MCLR or base rate move in line with the changes in benchmark itself. The next one we have front-end interest rate charge. The borrower receive the full loan amounts and interest rate change आपका periodically on the outstanding balances. Wrong है. Back end आपका we generally deduct first आपका, right? We do not आपका disperse the full amount. Back end interest rates involve deduction of interest rate from the principal at the time of disbursement. This back end interest rate आपका involve deduction of interest from the principal at the time of disbursement, resulting a lower net आपका received by the bot. This is आपका front end. So where the question is answer is wrong क्या? Because back end also it is defined आपका wrong, right? A, how come A? Back end, front end it is saying आपका charging the borrowers receive the full loan amounts and interest is charged periodically on the outstanding balances. Front end आपका the borrower receive the full loan amounts at the this and periodically charged. No, this is back end. This is about the back end, and in back end आपका involve deduction of interest rate from the principal at the time of disbursement. No, this should be आपका wrong. ठीक है? So this is also wrong. So 1 and 2 should be right answer for this one. If I change the option, means आपका out of these we can change anyone, right? Only 1 and 2 will be correct answer. So back end is आपका what is your front end is basically interest is deducted before the disbursement, and back end is आपका full amount is disbursed, interest is charged subsequently on the interest आपका. तो both are wrong in this particular case, right? Third and fourth आपका both are wrong in this case. In front end आपका interest is deducted upfront, reducing the net आपका disbursement, but here statement is something else. ठीक है? Statement is something else आपका in that particular case. So this is actually this statement is not part of that particular one question आपका. हाँ, so this is also wrong. 1 and 2 only will be right answer for this particular one. Santosh sir? Sure. Next one. Okay, now next one we have annuities. आपका हाँ grace marks will get. Now we have annuities आपका, ठीक है? So basically annuities आपका where we generally like let's say it's a case of आपका loan, or let's say a customer who took some sort of loan from the bank. Now the amount, let's say they took a 50 lakh rupees loan, they are paying these particular loan in आपका installment. These installment are generally known as आपका annuity. An annuity is a series of fixed payment made or received at a regular interval over a fixed period of time, like आपका rent payments, car loan EMIs, bond coupon, pension and others. Payment frequencies, it can be yearly, semi-yearly, quarterly or monthly. Mostly we have quarterly, right? So two basic type आपका, or ordinary annuity, most common. Payment are made at the end of each period, like straight आपका, let's straight bonds coupon. Interest is paid at the end of every 6 months until maturity. So that is the one. Annuity due आपका, it is beginning. Okay? It's a case of rent आपका. So the payment are made at the beginning of each period. Rent you usually pay आपका first day of the month. So beginning when we consume that particular one. So two type of annuities we have. One is आपका ordinary annuity. Another one is आपका annuity due. Now the future value, when it comes to the future value and present value of आपका ordinary annuity, which is given in your book. So future value of an ordinary annuity tell you how much money you will have at the end of the period if you make or receive fixed payment regularly and invest them, it again आपका बेस कंपाउंडिंग बेसिस, ठीक है. Knowing the total cost of the loan or finding out the maturity value of a recurring deposit or investments, right? So future value means when we are like, if we are recurring, making a recurring, like let's say we have taken some loan principal amount and we are paying some regular EMIs. So if you took that loan for 5 years, so how much you are going to pay actually? Let's say it has usually happen. Suppose that we have taken a 50 lakh rupees loan, you have to pay around 75 lakh or something else. So that is your future value of annuity. How much amount actually you are going to pay to in that particular case. So how we calculate? There must be formula also. Okay, I'll just the formula when we comes to this one, it is not mentioned here. The formula is future value is in case of ordinary annuity. So future value is equal to C into your cash flow into we have 1 plus in R आपका interest rate, 1 plus interest rate and plus interest rate की power आपका v की power n minus 1 divide by n minus 1 divide by आपका n minus 1 divide by interest आपका, ठीक है. So it must be mentioned somewhere. Calculating future value must be given somewhere. As per the question, I can interpret that this should be the formula. Here it is. Okay. So basically, the formula is future value. Now you have to remember this formula. Just आपका, you can just write it down it somewhere, right? So it will help you to solve this one. So your cash flow, it is आपका per period, whatever amount we are paying or receiving. That is 1 plus I आपका interest rate, which is let's say 5%, then this number of payments आपका 5. So the only आपका case of this कि if you are paying some sort of amounts, so how much you will receive, or like let's say that EMI case also. So if I'm paying 10,000 rupees EMI for suppose that 3 years, and the interest is suppose that आपका 10%. So how much actually I'll pay in that particular case? What will be the overall future value or the amount which is paid by the customer? So that is something what we generally go in this one. So this is something आपका similarly here also. Now again, completely driven by formula, ठीक है. So you cannot do anything with this. Just आपका remember this formula, and if you'll practice once and twice, it will help. Or else आपका chances are very low with annuity case. It can be asked, but if you able to manage that EMI वाला things and all, then it is fine, ठीक है. Then it is suggested आपका, ठीक है. क्लास एंड में बताएंगे क्या है आपका. सुशील सर ने शॉर्ट ट्रिक मिल गया पावर कैलकुलेशन का. ओके, ठीक है, ठीक है, बिल्कुल आशमा मैम. तो फर्स्ट आपका दिस इज द केस. सेकेंड वन इज योर व्हेन इट इज प्रेजेंट वैल्यू, calculating the present value of ordinary annuity. So the present value of ordinary annuity, what a series of future fixed payments is worth today. It is based on the time value of money, right? So like let's say we are 10,000, or if you take the same examples also, so how it will consider what is the present value of those one, okay? So how we generally consider that one, inflow 1 plus r की power n. Even you remember that case of NPV, so it is आपका inflow 1 plus r की power n. So that same thing, same logic will help you in this case also. Discounted value, that is called. So it is bond pricing or determining how much you should pay today for a series of future receipt, or loan evaluation also. So here it is आपका the present value of ordinary annuity itself, ठीक है. So that is something what generally comes under this particular one. So C into 1 minus आपका in that particular case it is, in case of future value it was C into 1 plus I. Here it is आपका 1 minus 1 plus R की power आपका N divide by R. Same, but the area आपका, what we are discounting the future values and we are comparing them with the present values. So the formula is, this is your formula, ठीक है. So let's say 1000 at the end आपका, at the beginning of every years, if we are investing it should be at the beginning of the every years, power 5. So cash, which is these are the areas, and the solution will be around, this is the present value. Now this is your present value. Present value means it has discounted the future things. How that same logic which we have done in NPV also, no, that get used in NPV also. How we use that particular one? We are like, let's say we are going to receive 5,000 in the future. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. So you are making these particular one. This 5,000, let's say this 5,000 you will get at the end of 5th year. So what is the present value of all these particular one? We are discounting inflow means 5,000, 1 plus R also. If you'll use this particular formula, you'll get to know about this one. Okay. Discounted, sorry. Okay. ठीक है. So this is your आपका the area of present value of annuity or the future value of annuity. I'll suggest keep just write it down this formula somewhere, and if you feel comfortable आपका, then only go for this one, because it will require some sort of practice. तो बिना practice के it won't help you. हाँ, EMI things which is can be done with easy practice also. Equated monthly installment, most of the common method for this one. So basically when it comes to EMI, so equated monthly installment covering both principal and interest. EMI is most common method of use for this one. A fixed amount every month which is paid by the borrowers, interest for the month and principal for the आपका repayment. Total EMI amount remain constant. Let's say if a customer have taken home loans, their EMI is 50,000, it will remain constant, but the variable will change. In the beginning, higher interest portion, which is around 80 to 90% of interest. Then later आपका gradually the principal, the proportion of principal, like let's say 50,000, out of 50,000, 5,000 is principal, 45,000 is interest initially. Gradually it will come down. There will be a time when we have recover all the interest, then it will be only principal, right? So that is the one. And now this formula, if you remember this particular one, this will help you to get another आपका 1 or 2 marks in your examination. तो principal आपका into R, rate of interest, and total number of installment. So principal 1 into R into 1 plus R की power n divide by 1 plus R की power n minus 1 आपका, right? How we generally use this particular one in general. So EMI is equal to principal plus आपका your monthly rate of interest, 1 plus R की power n, 1 plus R की power n minus 1. That will help you to calculate this particular one. ठीक है? Like let's say, okay, let's apply this particular one once. So find out the EMI for housing आपका 10 lakh and interest rate of 10.50% of this. So if I solve this particular equation, your means the principal amount is equal to 10 lakh, interest is equal to means R is equal to, rate of interest is equal to here आपका how much it is, 10.50%. Yes, so 10.50%, which is equal to your 10.50%, and it is point आपका 1050 this is आपका for how many years? 15 years, right? So if I calculate this particular one on monthly basis, n is your 10 years, so 10 year is 15 years, so 15 into 12, so which is equal to 15 into 12 is equal to 180. So 180, and if I divide this particular one on monthly basis, the interest on monthly basis will be 10.50. This is your month interest. आपका monthly basis is equal to 10.50 divided by 10.50 divided by 12, so it is around it is coming around 0. आपका 0.875, ठीक है, it will come around this. So if it is monthly 0.1050 divided by 12 is 0.00875, correct है, ठीक है, and this is your number of period. Now आपका when we go for the equation itself, so your principal is 10 lakh into 0.00875 आपका into we have 1 plus r, sorry 1 plus r 1.00875. who will solve this equation guys? की power 180 divide by your divide by आपका 1.00875 की पावर 180 minus 1, ठीक है, minus 1. So the answer, the outcome will be your answer or EMI for this one. कितना आ रहा है? Savit sir is saying 10,500. Anyone else also guys? Can you please calculate this? I'll check some shortcut for this one, huh? So 1.50 power 5 is then multiply the multiply button 5.5 minus 1 4 टाइम इक्वल बटन एंड आंसर आ जाएगा, ठीक है. तो आशिमा मैम टेस्ट कीजिए अपना लॉजिक. आई चेक दिस. आपका देयर मस्ट बी सम ट्रिक आपका फॉर द फॉर योर आपका for the simple calculator also. If I'll check the scientific calculator, it will be solved easily, but scientific calculator is not allowed in your case, huh? Manjunath sir, Savit sir, you are using scientific calculator क्या? हाँ, scientific calculator it is आपका easy to calculate, huh? When it is 10,000, ठीक है, 10,500, 10,500 it is coming आपका 10,500 or 180. हाँ, 10,500. So if we are using scientific calculator, it is helping us, but that is not allowed. Just allow me one day, I'll check something आपका, और अगर आप लोगों को कुछ मिलता है, please do let me know, ठीक है. So in that particular case, it is coming around आपका 10,000, 10,500 only. It is coming around 10,500 only. No, just a minute. I have used that -1 also. to 10 lakh into point. No, it is coming 11,054. 11,054. If you use scientific calculator आपका it will come around this. ठीक है 11054. हाँ I'll check this one. This आपका I'll check. हाँ it is, this is also calculated आपका scientifically. Yes. So I'll check any short tricks which is available for this one, and till that time you also use your areas. If you get anything आपका, please do let me know in the group itself. हाँ 11,000 आपका Praveen sir also. It is exactly, it was coming around 11,034 or something. This number is fine. This number is fine. Huh? Yes, yes, yes. Chal. Now this is also same. So do use that one. Okay, you can use the scientific like you cannot use the scientific calculator first of all, but the practice portion आपका which we will be requiring. So I'll suggest, I'll also check आपका, if I get anything I'll post in the group, and something must be there for the normal calculator also. Usually we use Excel sheet nowadays, but there must be something आपका to calculate these kind of things also, right? Okay guys, चलो now next one आपका YTM. So when it comes to YTM आपका, so it is like this is something which is related to bonds or the bonds valuation. So there are some areas which are very important. One is the bond valuation that can be asked, or theorem of bonds, though they have asked one question in INIFS also, but still आपका there is a probability. And current yield आपका, which is आपका bit favorite area for the examiner. In the they generally ask many time the question around that particular one also, so please do take care around this. The bonds, which is also known as debt capital. The benefit with debt capital is it is आपका basically they work as a lenders, guarantee आपका specific rate of interest or the principal at the end of the maturity of bonds. Lower risk आपका, interest payment are tax deductible for the company, creating a tax shield that lower the profit after tax. So when it comes to the theories now, the capital structure theories, net income theory, we generally support कि the portion of debt should be at higher side. The portion of debt should be higher side because when it comes to the sequence, EBIT आपका earning before interest and tax minus आपका interest. Now on equity capital you do not have any interest. You do not have any interest obligation, but on debt capital, whatever amount you have paid during that particular period, that will get deducted from this particular one. So that is something how companies they leverage from the, that is also known as financial leverage, how we generally get benefit from this particular one. Here equity capital is they become part of owner of the business. It is आपका dividends which is variable. Higher risk आपका, basically investors they are investing their money is called risk capital. They are becoming the owner of the business. If business will grow, their money will grow, otherwise it will on risk. Dividend are paid after from the after tax आपका income, not tax deductible in this particular case. We have some terminologies which are associated with this one. Face value आपका, which is also known as par value. So bonds they generally get issued on a face value. Like let's say आपका there is a company who issue bonds आपका at a face value of 1,000. So this is the amount which is company is raising. This is the principal amount kind of, and which they'll repay at the end of the maturity itself. And in between, they'll pay आपका some interest. That interest is called coupon rate. Let's say 8% आपका per annum, or 8% which is payable half yearly in most of the cases. The coupon rate, maturity, redemption value, interest rate, market value, and others. These generally comes under this particular one. Terminology आपका, apart from this, day count convention, this get asked many times. So when it comes to day count convention, this is कि how we generally calculate the interest on bonds. ठीक है, let's say if it is 8% per annum, तो it is actual number of days, आपका actual number of आपका days in the year, actual number of days which that person hold the bonds, and actual number of आपका days which they generally which are in the year itself. When it comes to actual 365, when it comes to actual 365 means actual number of days we hold that particular bond, and we are assuming कि there are 365 days in a year, even आपका if there is a leap year. Actual 360, we are assuming 360 days. 30 360, we are assuming 30 days in a month. Even in case of February also, we will be assuming this same. And in a year, we are assuming this. So when we calculate the interest rate, now mostly it is around actual 365. Mostly we use आपका this actual 365. But there are other day count conventions which are also available in the market itself, right? Apart from this, आपका embedded options, which is called optionality in bonds. This also get asked many times. Optionality in bonds means bonds they provide आपका two. One is callable bonds, another one is puttable bonds. When it is callable bonds which provide right to the issuer, they can buy back those type of bonds from market. Puttable bonds आपका which provide right to the investor, they can force आपका issuer to pay them back after a pre-specified period and all, right? Now the most important part आपका, that is valuation of bonds. So when it comes to valuation of bonds, a bond आपका provide future cash flows, the periodic interest payment plus redemption value at the maturity. The value of bonds, which is present value of all expected, the bond value is means आपका bond value is equal to inflow divided by 1 plus आपका it is called आपका KD plus future value means the face value divided by 1 plus KD. ठीक है, so that is the one की power n, right? So this is something ki what interest is generally paid by the bank, paid by the company on that bonds, plus आपका the face value of that bonds. So it is the value of bonds which present value of all expected future cash flows. Means let's say a bond is for 5 years. So during 5 years, whatever interest it is paid by the bonds आपका, every years we are getting interest for 5 years. Let's say if it is annual, and eventually finally we getting the face value. But what we are doing, we are calculating the present value of these particular inflows. Why we are calculating present value? Because the investment we are making in this bond, that outflow is today, right? So let's say we invested 10 lakh rupees, this outflow happened today. So that's why we are comparing the future inflows at the present rate itself. The intrinsic value of the bond is the face value, the present value of the benefit itself. So how we calculate this one? Just remember this formula आपका. So value of bond is equal to your sum of interest plus 1 plus KD. So the cost of capital. Then we have आपका face value or redemption value divided by 1 plus KD. So that is simply how we generally go for this one, right? But the simple again, this is a case of time value of money. If we are invested आपका 10 lakh rupees, at the end of first year we are getting, suppose that interest of 1 lakh. At the end of second year we are getting interest of, suppose that another 1 lakh. Every year, not 1 lakh, suppose that every year we are getting interest of 20,000. Okay? So every year we are getting interest of 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Let's suppose this is for this 5 years. So the present value of this money, so present value will be definitely lesser than this 18,000. How you will calculate this one? By using this area. Means 20,000 आपका divide by 1 plus R, 1 plus KD, sorry, ठीक है, 1 plus KD आपका, that is a discount rate in that particular case. Let's say cost of capital, sorry, ठीक है, or discount rate, which is or required return. Suppose that if it is 10%, so which include inflation, opportunity cost and everything, so it is 0.10 की power 1. So you will be calculating this. The outcome will be आपका it is 20,000 divided by your 1.10 is equal to 18,000 आपका 18,181. So this is your present value. So means the money which we are receiving at the end of first year, today's value is आपका 18,181. Why we are doing so? Because this investment we are making today, right? So then similarly we will calculate for all the remaining years, and eventually we will calculate for the आपका face value also. Okay, so let's say the face value, because this 10 lakh rupees you will get at the end of the period, but today's 10 lakh is having a higher value than after 5 years 10 lakh rupees, right? Just because of आपका time value of money. आज का 1 रुपये is having more आपका worth or purchasing power than आपका 5 years later 10 rupees, right? So you will be discounting this particular one also at a same discount factor. Means whatever the face value, let's say the face value was 1,000, so 1,000 divided by 1 plus KD, that is 0.10 की power 5 for the 5 years. So outcome, then you will add these particular one, this plus this. If it is higher, then only you should invest in that particular bond. थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आया guys, everyone? So here it is, like let's say if we solve this question, तो face value is 1,000 and coupon rate is आपका 10%, year is 3 years and आपका for 12%. So what will be the cost of capital is आपका 12%. If I have to solve this one, so 100 rupees, your inflow is 100 rupees, coupon rate is 100 rupees, 10% of 1,000 is equal to 100. So annual interest is suppose that आपका 100 rupees. So 100 divided by 1 plus R, 0.10, plus आपका 100 divided by 1 plus आपका 0.10 की power 2 and आपका 100 divided by 1.10 की power 3, right? So this is आपका, we will be discounting the future inflows. So first we will be calculating this plus आपका, then we have the future, this face value also. So 1,000 which you will receive at the end of the third year, 1.10 की power, sorry, 1.12, not 10, 12, 12, 12. So 1.1 आपका 12 की power 3. So then you will make the, like that is the value of that particular bonds. So the value of the bonds कितना आ रहा है? Anyone? 100. $89.29 plus ऐसे कुछ नंबर आ रहे हैं। This is equal to 711, आपका 711.80. So if I'll add all these particular one, 71, this, so 711 plus your 90, I'll take the round of numbers, so 80 plus 71. So somewhere 850, 952. So bond value is coming up at 952. Face value is आपका 1000. Bond value is this. Means this bond is trading in आपका discount, right? The bond is getting traded in discount. 938 आ रहा है क्या? Okay. I have taken some rough number also. 9. It is coming around 952. There must be numbers also, right? This is आपका something, 953 point something. So this is the numbers आपका which generally coming in this one. The bond is getting traded in at आपका discount because the face value is higher than the, when face value is higher than the आपका market value, the bond is said to be in discount, and means आपका we should buy this bond. ठीक है? If the other factor also we have to consider, but that is one indicator for this one. Okay. Next one we have current yield आपका. This every time they ask. Every time means every time. 1 marks के लिए बहुत आसान है. ठीक है. So measure the rate of return on bonds based on the coupon interest and current market. So annual coupon divided by current market, right? So annual coupon, like let's say same case, face value was how much? आपका 1000, and coupon rate was how much? 12%. And your current market price, suppose that it is कितना आ रहा था? आपका 954, ठीक है, 953 आपका, वॉट एवर इट इज, राइट. तो इफ वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द करंट यील्ड, तो इट इज आपका एनुअल कूपन इज 12% ऑफ 1000 विच इज 120 रुपीज डिवाइड बाय करंट मार्केट प्राइस विच इज आपका 953 into 100. So if I'll solve this one, कितना होता है? 120 divided by 953 into 100 is equal to the coupon, आपका the current yield on this bond is 12.59, और आपका 12.59% is not, right? So how we will calculate the current yield on the bonds? So this get asked many time in your examination. Please, मतलब this is something जहाँ पे you do not have to worry around. The things are आपका straightforward. Just focus on the simple formula that will give you downside half marks in your upcoming examination. Okay. So what will be the current yield, guys? बताओ जरा. ये मिस नहीं करना है. 7.60. ठीक है, it is coming around. So current yield is equal to 70 divided by 920 into 100. So it is coming around 7.608. So it is 6.1, means option B will be right answer for this particular. Correct है? आगे बढ़ें. So a bond with 10% coupon rate and face value of 5,000. Currently this. So coupon, I guess everyone will be able to answer this. Easy है. Okay. Next one. An investor purchased a bond at 1000 at 1000 bonds at this means this is your face value and this is the market price at that time when he purchased this. Coupon rate of 9% means first वाले के लिए 90 divided by 1100 into 100, that is the coupon rate. The second one is bond price dropped to 9. So the another case what happened, 90 divided by 950 into 100. So what will happen in this particular case, आपका increase the earlier the coupon, the current yield here it will be less and here current yield will be high. Just because of this calculation means option A only should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? तो A के लिए आपका current yield is 8.18 and B के लिए आपका current yield is 9.47%. Right guys, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं next one. Okay, so theorems of bonds. The next one we have theorem of bonds. So we have 10 theorems which are generally part of your AFM. In IA and IFS we have only आपका 4 theorems. Here including 4 we have 6 other also. So required rate, if required rate of return is equal to coupon rate, bond is trading at par value. How we are taking 90? 90 is basically the face value was 1000 and the coupon rate is आपका 9%. So 9% of आपका 1000. ठीक है? So 9% of 1000 is equal to 90. This is what we are getting आपका yearly, right? So this is आपका the case. So that's why 90 inflow. The formula is inflow आपका और interest divided by 1 plus r. Okay, so that is the case. So now when it comes to if required rate of, please go through these आपका theorems now. They'll help you in your upcoming examination. Though they have already asked one question around this in IE and IFS, but still there is chances. So if rate of return, required rate of return and currently coupon आपका rate are same, means bond is trading at par value or face value. If required rate of return is higher than the coupon rate, bond is आपका in discount, or if it is आपका opposite, it is in आपका case of premium. If आपका KD is greater than the coupon rate, discount rate आपका, so discount on the bonds decrease at the maturity approaches. So if KD आपका is higher than the coupon rate, so that's why discount on the bonds decrease, bond के ऊपर discount decrease होगा as it will reach to the maturity. If it is आपका KD is less than the coupon rate, premium on the bonds decrease as maturity आपका approaches. So that current yield wala combination also if you'll use same thing, because eventually at maturity what we get the face value. Due to that one, these are the effect. Bond prices and yield are inversely related. This we have आपका discuss many time, right? For the same differences between YTM, yield to maturity, and coupon rate, longer maturity bonds show a greater price change when YTM. This we have discussed in IA and IFS also, same things आपका. Bond prices change greater with a decrease in YTM. Okay, this is also from IA and IFS. For a given change in YTM, high coupon bonds have smaller percentage price change than the lower आपका coupon rate. This was also there. A change in YTM highly impact high YTM bonds more strongly than आपका low YTM bonds. So these were generally part of your आपका IE and IFS. IE and IFS same आपका theorems, and here we have the other one, okay, which they have added in this particular case itself. Discount rate. Sairam sir, it is discount rate. It is usually known as cost of capital. That is means आपका the cost of capital means here, or KD means आपका कि you have 1000 rupees. If you invest that particular one, So you'll get some interest, financing cost, आपका opportunity cost, inflation, all these आपका totally. So that is why we are discounting them. Okay, let's say you have 100 rupees today or 100 crore rupees in your hand. If you'll invest in some project, so the return should be higher than this, because you having some sort of opportunity, you can earn interest like normal interest, let's say 7% per annum, plus आपका some opportunity cost plus interest, inflation will decrease the value of money. So that is your KD आपका in this case. Utkar sir, हाँ Utkar sir, this आपका theorems you are asking. Utkar sir, theorems आपका, there must be question around the theorems. I'll go through these particular one. If required rate of return is equal to coupon rate, means your current yield is equal to coupon rate. Let's say coupon rate is 9% and आपका the current yield is also 9%. That means the market value of bonds is equal to 1000, where the face value of bond is also 1000. Okay? Because both are at same. This is the आपका first thing. Required rate of return, if required rate of return is greater than the coupon rate. Okay? So if required rate of return is higher than the coupon rate, means bond is trading in discount. Means let's say your current yield, the coupon rate is 9% and current yield is आपका 12%. That means the number will be, it will be something ki your आपका, let's say the current the annual coupon on this bond is supposed at 90 rupees, and in the current market it is trading at 900, because the face value is this, it is trading lower than the face value. So if I'll solve this particular equation, obviously the number will be higher than this आपका, ठीक है, the face value things. Like let's say it is आपका, just I'll come back to that question. This, so what will happen in this case, or आपका the first case itself which we have discussed, this one. So the face value of the bond is 1000 and coupon is this, bond is trading at 920. So if we have calculated current yield, what was the current yield? Current yield is higher than the आपका coupon rate. Reason being, it is the bond is getting traded on discount, means at the time of maturity this 920, and at the time of maturity what investor will get, they'll get 1000. Okay? So they have right now it is trading at 920, as maturity will appear it will become आपका 1000. So that's why that was the another theorem आपका which was related to this one. It is mostly around the current yield आपका, right? So this is what it was the case. Just a minute. कि when आपका required rate of return is higher, means 12%, and it is आपका means this, means face value is 1000 and bond is trading at 900, eventually it will become this. So obviously the rate of return will be higher than the coupon rate. That is the case. Or the vice versa, reverse case, if required rate of return is, or bond is already trading at आपका 1200, coupon rate is the face value is 1000. If you calculate the current yield, your current yield will come below the coupon rate. So that's why it is a case of premium. Bond is already trading in premium. That is the situation. Then we have KD. आपका the cost of debt is greater than the coupon rate discount. Up now, same thing आपका defined under these two. It is the discount rate is higher than the coupon rate. Discount on the bond decrease as maturity आपका approaches. So as the KD, let's say if it is आपका discount rate is 12% और आपका coupon rate is 12%. If discount rate is 13% and coupon rate is 12%, so discount on the bond decrease आपका as it will reach to the maturity, because on maturity it will come to exact आपका face value. On the day of maturity it will become face value irrespective of market prices. Market prices will automatically adjust and they'll come to 1000 or the vice versa. And this is आपका which is part of I and IFS also. bonds prices and yield. If bond prices will increase, current yield will decrease, or आपका if bond prices decrease, YTM will increase. That is the relation between these two. Differences between YTM and coupon rate: longer the maturity, slower the show the greater price changes, because let's say there is a bond whose maturity period is 7 years, so we do have opportunity in that particular one. And bond prices change आपका when it, like let's say out of 10 years, now we remain with only 6 months, it will trade around the face value only, because eventually it will get paid on face value. But if we'll have higher maturity period or higher duration, it will affect there will be more volatility in the case. Bond prices change is greater when decrease in the YTM, so that downside effect आपका uh, for a given change in YTM, high coupon bonds have smaller percentage. One bond is giving 10%, another one is 7%. The volatility will be high in 7% and less in this one. I give you an example of government bonds now, because people having some sort of mindset that this bond will go for 20%. So here we have only 2%. Here we have आपका 5% increment chances. So that's why these type of bonds, they are highly आपका favorable, or they changes we generally expect higher in this one. A change in YTM impact the high YTM bond more strongly than आपका low YTM bonds. ठीक है? So high YTM means the duration period is at higher side, other valuation, or there is a gap between face value and the current market. Low, it is close to your face value itself. उत्कर्ष सर, थोड़ा बहुत समझ में आया? तो please do remember this one. Now let's practice some question. There must be some question around this. We have this, just after this we will be discussing question around the bond valuation. So highly yield bonds are below investment grade, and investor expect high yield primarily to compensate their increased default आपका risk. Highly yield bonds आपका, they can be, so because like the risk is high and the return is also high. Bearer bonds are safer than the registered bond. No, bearer bonds is whoever is holder, they are the owner. Registered bonds are more safer than this. आपका subordinated bonds rank lower in priority during the liquidation, 100%. Subordinated debt is something which get secondary priority at the time of liquidation. Converted bonds and asset-backed securities are identical in nature. Both cases आपका underlying asset are removed from the issuer's balance sheet आपका. No, converted bonds and asset-backed securities. Converted which go for the equity, and this is आपका asset-backed. Both are different, guys. Government treasury bonds consider free from the default. Still आपका this fifth one is true. So 135 means option B must be right answer for this particular one. Correct. Next one. Okay, this is your question. Which of the following statement regarding the valuation and price behavior of bonds are correct based on the theorem only? Okay, answer this question, guys. So when the required rate of return, market interest rate equal to the coupon rate, bond trade at par value, face value, means market rate is आपका 1000 and coupon rate is also 1000. Current yield is equal to the coupon rate. आपका statement 1 is correct. when required rate of return is greater than the coupon rate, it is आपका in discount. Current yield is, suppose that current yield is 12% and coupon rate is आपका 9%. ठीक है, so that is a case of discount. Next means the market price are lower, the bond market price are lower than the आपका coupon rate face value. When the required rate of the return is less and it is up on premium, just opposite, the premium or discount on bonds gradually reduce as bond approaches to the maturity. True hai, right? The next one is bond prices and yield to maturity. Bond prices and yield to maturity are directly related? No, they are inversely related. ठीक है, so they are inversely related. Next one, for the same change in yield, long-term bonds experience larger price change than short-term. True है. The price rise caused by a fall in YTM greater than the आपका this particular one. True है, right? So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 6 7, option A only should be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? Piyush sir, you got this one? आपका, you got this one? If you having doubt, please do let me know so I can help you out with this. Next one, a bond generally redeemed at आपका, so it is par value, face value it is called, face value of bonds आपका, right? So that is called face value of bonds. Okay, so got it guys? Everyone, any doubt, please do let me know. That question, this question is also exactly similar, so no point. Yes, okay. Now next we have Forex market arithmetics. So when it comes to Forex market, this was part of INIFS. Fundamental remains same. We have some arithmetic areas like chain rule, value date system, and this part. These two part are important from this particular one, right? So Forex, let's quickly go through this particular one also. So when it comes to quotations, we have two type of quotation. One is direct quote, where 1 unit of foreign currency is quoted in term of domestic. Like let's say $1 is equal to 95.2030 rupees. This is your direct quotation. Since 1993 onwards, we have only direct quotation. Mostly we quote currencies in direct quotation. Indirect quotation is 1 rupee is equal to point आपका 0021 dollar. That is आपका indirect quotation, where 1 unit of domestic currencies get quoted in foreign currency. So that is something, the differences between these two आपका, right? So direct quotation and आपका indirect quotation. August 1993, bank in India have been required to be quoted आपका direct quoted basically, right? Okay, so then we have cross rate mechanism. When it comes to cross rate, the cross rate is something ki, like especially in case of Indian currency, we are not fully convertible currency. Okay? At on current account it is fine, but capital account convertibility is still, it is partial, right? And there are very few currencies which are fully convertible, right? So now fully convertible, like dollar get converted with each and every country's currency, so that is fully convertible currency. But we have, like let's say we do not have any direct conversion between INR and yuan. So what we have to do in that case, we have to take a help of another currency, third currency, which is common currency. Like let's say we have a dollar and rupee conversion, direct quotation. We have dollar and currency X direct conversion. अब if we have to convert आपका rupee into x, suppose that we do not have any direct quotation in this case, तो we take help of आपका chain rule. What we will do from the rupee, let's say you have 1 lakh rupees, you will buy the dollars, ठीक है, you got $10,000. That $10,000 we will dispose of against the currency x आपका. So this mechanism is generally known as your आपका cross rule, and the conversion is basically called chain rule. Calculate the cross rate based on the common sense approach, which is how we are generally using as a base currency. That is means dollar we are using a chain between rupee and euro, or rupee in that currency x itself, right? So that is the another important area from this. Value date concept, this also get asked many time in your examination for 1 marks or for 2 marks. So they'll give you some example and they'll ask you ki the trade type. You have to name the trade type aapka, right? So what will be your answer? Like simply, value date is basically a date of settlement. When it comes to value date, it is equal to date of settlement. Due to time zone differences aapka, we have, like let's say we have entered into a trade today. Today is आपका 6th May. 6th May we executed a trade, and this got settled on, suppose that if it got settled today itself, means t plus 0, it is called spot, it is called cash or ready. Exchange took place on the date of deal. When trade happened on 6th आपका and settlement took place. Settlement means both the parties, they are releasing their obligation. Buyer is getting currency and seller is getting money for that. So day t plus 1 आपका, ठीक है, t plus 1 tomorrow when settlement took place आपका next working day. Spot is basically when settlement took place आपका on t plus 2 after like 2 working days, ठीक है. So exchange take place second working day after the date of deal. Now, mostly the trade in the market happen on spot up. The most settlements which happen on spot basis. If settlement took place or if settlements is going to take place in the future date after or any date after the spot date, that is called your forward rate. Okay? So let's say if we enter into a trade today, your bank entered with some XYZ exporter in a contract, and settlement is going to take place on 15th of October 2026 आपका. This trade between bank and customer is called forward rate आपका, ठीक है, that is called आपका forward rate, ठीक है. So देखो ऐसा कोई जरूरी नहीं है हर्षल सर, it can be cash also. Cash कैसे होता है? Like let's say you are going abroad, ठीक है, let's say you are going abroad and let's say you are going US, तो you have INR. Suppose that you have 1 lakh rupees INR. So what you can do at airport, you can give them 1 lakh and they'll convert your currency. That happened on a frequent basis. So this is the case. That settlement na, the T plus 1 wala, which we have mandated in equity case aapka. What I can recall that one. Okay. So it can be cash also. At the time we generally pay them upfront aapka cash and they pay us the dollar. So that is usually this happen when we enter into online trade. So this is something for the, like we have entered into trade and the trade is getting settled aapka. One is we got settled same day, the spot, the ready things aapka, exchange wala area, and others aapka this. Mostly we have two type of trade in Forex. Most trade aapka they get settled on this particular one. And that T plus 1 wala na, that it is related to equity. Earlier equity settlements was also T plus 2, but last year we changed them to aapka T plus 1. What I remember that one. I guess that is not applicable to Forex. I'll confirm if there is any changes. Okay. So that is something key. There is a date of deal and if it got settled on these particular date itself. Now, the next one is your आपका forward rate. Forward rate आपका. So how we calculate forward rate? So it is forward rate is equal to spot rate, the current market price, plus minus forward point आपका. ठीक है, forward point is basically differentials. ठीक है, so forward point is the forward point express the differences in prices between current आपका spot rate and the future आपका the forward rate or forward or future rate of a currency. Like let's say they express in pips आपका, ठीक है, pips means आपका ये 0.0001 4 digit के अंदर. For example, the spot rate is 1.20 1.2000 and forward rate is आपका point is 0.25 plus 225 means it will be आपका the rate forward rate will be 1.2025 आपका in this case. Like let's say how we calculate this. Let's say spot rate of 1 euro is equal to USD is 1.2180 and 3 months later is आपका 1.2330. So means the difference आपका between these two is called forward point. I guess this was also part of your IE and IFS examination. The next one, we have a case of discount and premium. So the case of discount and premium. So a currency is said to be in discount when it is a case of आपका discount when the future rate or the forward rate is less than your spot rate. Okay, this is a case of discount. Means let's say $1 is equal to 95.2030. This is the spot rate, current market price. 3 month contract आपका 3 month later contract, it is trading at आपका 92.1020. So this is a case of आपका discount. And a case of surplus is आपका, let's say if it is trading at 98.5060, this is a case of premium. So mostly you will see आपका currencies in premium. आपका forward premium when a currency interest rate lower than the another one, and it will lead to this kind of agreement कि forward rate is higher than the spot rate. And when it comes to discount rate, it is discount rate is equal to when your forward rate is lower than the spot rate. That is the case in this one. Muniswamy sir, which one? See, let's say right now $1, the spot rate is $1 is equal to 95.2030. This is the spot rate, spot market. Means if you buy today, आपका for $1 you have to pay buyer want to buy at 95.20. This is buy rate, and this is seller want to sell at आपका 95.30. So you will get at this particular one. If you will buy on the market price, so you have to pay 95.30 rupees for $1. Up when it comes to forex market or the foreign exchange currencies and all currency pair, they also get traded in market. What it is showing in market, 3 month later contract or 6 month later contract of USD INR is priced at 98.5060. When 3 months later it is priced at 98.6050 means 5060 means the spot rate is spot rate of आपका future rate आपका, so future rate is higher than the spot rate. This is your spot rate and this is your future rate. Means it is आपका, it is a case of premium. Okay. What led in this particular one? Due to आपका high demand for that dollar in the market itself. When the another case of discount, when currency will be in discount, when your forward rate 3 months later contract is trading or listed in market at 92.10, where spot is this, means currency is in discount आपका, the future contract is in discount आपका in the future things. Got it? Muniswamy sir. So what we usually do, what is the interpretation of this? When you calculate the forward rate, okay, when you calculate the future or forward rate, the spot rate, if it is premium, you have to add the premium. If it is आपका discount, you have to minus the discount. Basically, the formula is this is not part of your curriculum, but still, if you want to know how we calculate the forward rate, so let's say if we have to quote the buy rate, it is forward rate आपका is equal to spot rate plus premium minus margin. Margin means the amount which is charged by the bank to facilitate that contract. So this is something आपका which is the formula in case of when we are quoting buy rate. When we are quoting sell rate आपका it is forward rate is equal to your spot rate plus premium plus margin. That is the case. ठीक है? Okay, चलो. Now let's practice some question. So arbitrage can be best. Arbitrage is basically buying in one market, selling in another market, and a strategy to earn guaranteed profit आपका through market inefficiencies. This happen with आपका mostly with these आपका non-fully convertible currencies. We have currency arbitrage when you'll come to CAIIB BFM now. So we are simultaneously entering into multiple currencies, and आपका if there is any differences, so we are taking some advantages from those particular differences. The following are the exchange rate quotation in the interbank market. Spot आपका GBP, spot GBP is आपका $1 is equal to this. 1 month forward this, आपका 2 months forward this. अब here it is means you have, this is called buy rate. The first side is आपका buy rate and this is आपका sell rate. हाँ, these आपका first side आपका buy rate and these are the sell rate. Based on the information, whenever we write like something like this, let's say $1 is equal to 95.6070. If I'm writing this ना, so इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? This is buyer आपका buy rate and this is आपका sell rate. Means buyer want to buy at 95.60, seller want to sell it at 95.70. ठीक है, that is the meaning of this particular one. So when it comes to this particular one, if GBP at premium against the dollar, 1 month आपका forward buying and selling rate for GBP of this particular one. So spot rate is how much? Buy rate is आपका 1.3020. ठीक है, so this is your spot rate. And margin आपका 1 month later, it is saying 1 month later means this आपका 40 पैसा. तो 40 पैसा if you'll add in this particular one, तो point आपका 0040. ठीक है, so this will be a buy rate and sell rate will be 1.3040 plus आपका it is what the number is 0.00 आपका 0.0045. So this will be your answer for this one. What is the answer? Option D everyone is saying. Chalo, we'll go with you. Very good. So this is your answer. It is mentioned आपका 1 month later. If they'll mention 2 months later, you will go for this. These are the premiums. ठीक है, these are called premium, right? So these are the premium on that particular currency. 1 month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. And if it is premium, we have to add the premium. If it is discount, like if let's say if they'll mention that the currency is in discount, so what you will do आपका, you will minus that. Got it everyone? Very good. Savit sir, Utkarsh sir and Ashima ma'am. Got it guys everyone? समझ में आया थोड़ा सा? Okay. An Indian resident see the exchange rate quote आपका $1 equal to 82.50. What is the indirect quotation in term of foreign currency price of 1 rupee? So how we'll calculate? $1 is equal to 82.50. ठीक है, तो if I have to indirectly quote this one, तो 1 divided by 82.50. तो whatever the outcome, that is your answer for this one. Correct है? तो इनडायरेक्ट quotation आपका कितना आता है? Means 1 divided by 82.50 is equal to 0.1212 something, right? 0.0121 means आपका D must be right answer for this particular one. Correct है? So this is how like direct or indirect quotation which we are defining in this particular one. So what will be your correct answer, guys? आपका LERMS Liberalized Exchange Rate Management System 1992 March 1992 again extended in 1993 कि forex rate will be decided based on the demand. Why no one remember this one? Huh? Liberalized Exchange Rate Management आपका system 1992. Earlier RBI used to decide कि let's say we have a currency pair, suppose that USD INR. So how much it will go up, how much it will go down. This pack was decided by RBI. Now in 1992 onwards, we leave this particular one on आपका market basis. Now market decide the things. What will be the, how the currency pair will go up or how. We have fundamental reason, we have technical and speculation against आपका this particular one. ठीक है? Okay, next one. चलो. An importer in India want to make payment in euros. Rupee euro are not directly quoted. Suppose that rupee euro are not directly quoted. You as a banker must use cross rate method through the dollar. अब बताइए, तो रेट इज गिवन आपका मुंबई $1 इज इक्वल टू 83.4050 एंड आपका दिस इज योर बाय रेट एंड दिस इज योर सेल रेट. ठीक है, दिस इज योर बाय, दिस इज सेल रेट. Frankfurt Germany market $1 is equal to 0.9185 आपका यूरो. So find the cross rate आपका per rupee per euro and the conversion itself. So what will be your correct answer? So now this is the same case कि क्या है, we have आपका rupee, we have dollar and rupee conversion. ठीक है, so we have rupee dollar conversion, we have dollar and euro conversion. It is euro only now. Yes. Now we do not have any conversion between. Here the problem is we have to convert rupee आपका per euro. ठीक है, we have to convert this one. So first what we will do, we will buy the dollar. ठीक है, we will buy dollar with this one. Same dollar we will dispose of against this particular one. So what we will do आपका, if your आपका €1 is equal to this, तो USD डिवाइड बाय यूरो. ठीक है, एंड इन $1 is this, तो 83 point we have to आपका we have to sell rupee, we have to buy dollar, so that's why we will use the selling rate आपका. ठीक है, we have to buy dollar, so that's why I'm using the sell rate. So 83.4550 divided by your आपका dollar to euro is क्या आता है इसका आंसर, 83.4550 divided by 0.91085. So it is coming around 91 आपका 91.62 something. तो $1 is equal to this. Okay, do we have number? No. कुछ गड़बड़ किया क्या मैंने? क्या आ रहा है? C आ रहा है क्या? Okay. So जैसा आप लोग बोले 90.84 आ रहा है something. ठीक है, तो I'll go with your answer only. इतना ही आ रहा है ना कैलकुलेशन? आई होप यू हैव डन द सेम कैलकुलेशन आपका, राइट? So why now the question is कि why we are not using this rate? This is when you buy the rupee. We are not buying rupee here. From the rupee we are आपका buying the dollar. So means we are selling rupee, we are buying dollar. That's why we have used 83 point आपका this rate, not this one. ठीक है, not getting. Munisami sir, देखो this is the case. The case is basically आपका क्रॉस रेट. ठीक है, दिस इज आपका क्रॉस रेट. व्हाट इज क्रॉस रेट? व्हाई वी यूज क्रॉस रेट? कि देखो क्या होता है, वी हैव टू करेंसी पेयर, वी हैव डॉलर एंड INR डायरेक्ट कन्वर्जन रेट एज पर द क्वेश्चन. डॉलर एंड यूरो इज ऑल्सो directly quoted in market, but the problem is we have to make आपका rupee conversion of euro to rupee, but we do not have any direct quotation between these two currencies. So what we can do in this situation, we have to use आपका dollar as a chain. We are आपका having rupee, we will be converting rupee into dollar. That same dollar we will dispose of against the rupee euro. Why so? Because आपका this is the common currency between rupee and dollar, rupee and euro आपका. So what we did, from the rupee itself, whatever rupee we have, we buy the dollar. So that's why we use the selling rate आपका. So for $1 we have 83.4550, we have to pay this one, because we are buying dollars. So that's why we are using the rupee sell rate. So we buy this one, and आपका the dollar rate is quoted at this. So we have done the cross multiplication, and that's why you reach to here itself. Answer भी check कर लेते हैं. Yes, so there is no surprise in that case. Munisami sir, got it? Other people just answer this. Consider the following statement regarding value date and exchange rate quotation. Value date and exchange rate quotation. So the term refer to an exchange of currency that take place on the next working day after the date of deal. Okay, next working day means T+1, right? Means आपका correct है tomorrow. Term is equal to tomorrow. When a currency is costlier in forward, means forward rate is greater than आपका spot rate, means it is आपका in premium. It is equal to premium. It is said to be in discount. No, it is in premium, means second statement is wrong. The forward rate referred to an exchange of currency that take place after the spot date. After the spot date, whether it is आपका in premium or discount, it means when settlement took place any date after the T+2. T+2 is your spot. This is your spot. If settlement took place any date after in the future after the this, that is called forward. True है. 1 and 3 means आपका option B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct है guys? समझ में आया? चलो. Now next one, next question. Okay. अब next topic we have capital structure. ठीक है? तो I'll be adding one more session for module C. तो कल हम कोशिश करेंगे कि like whatever we can convert, because these two topic ना back to back 24 and 25. पहले तो मेरा request है आप सभी से, please do watch this particular one fundamentally. ठीक है? You cannot ignore this but these two topic. हाँ, if you not watch fundamentally ना bouncer हो जाएगा. तो 24, 25 at least these two topic आपका please do watch these particular one fundamentally. In next session, we will be starting with this. It will take almost 1 hour to cover these two topics, then 1 hour for another topic. Then we will enter into module D, where at least we will be covering taxation and your the GST portion. Then cost accounting, we will be doing one dedicated marathon for cost accounting also. Okay? Sir, what if €1 is given in place of USD? आपका €1 is like if मतलब then you will be using मतलब that can be your case आपका. Just a minute, I'll find out space. So let's say you are saying कि €1 is equal to आपका some rupee. We have a direct quotation between these two, and we have आपका dollar and आपका rupee quotation. So if we do not have this case, suppose that if you have to convert your suppose that, so if this is the case, if you have to convert euro, suppose that euro and dollar are not आपका they do not have any direct quotation, so what we will do, we will use rupee as a base currency because it is common between these two currencies. So you will be using आपका rupee as a common currency in that case. So this is as simple as that. We have to add आपका two things. but they are not connected. They are not directly connected. So we are using a connector, which is a common, mostly dollar. Why dollar is so popular? Because it is fully convertible with all the currencies. So we are using dollar to link between these two currencies, right? Going through your revision session and important is enough. Utkarsh sir, I'll suggest आपका, I have shared one PDF ना. There are few topic which if I'm trying कि आपको पूरा एक अच्छा सा रिविजन दे दें, but कुछ टॉपिक है ना जो फंडामेंटली समटाइम व्हाट हैपन ना, दे प्रिपेयर आपका पेपर एज अ मोर टूवर्ड टू द फंडामेंटल्स. लाइक लेट्स से वी हैव गॉन थ्रू सम टॉपिक. लेट्स से आपका टुडे वी टॉक अबाउट दी एनी टॉपिक आपका, ठीक है, टेक एनी, लेट्स से डेरिवेटिव, ठीक है. सो डेरिवेटिव में व्हाट वी विल डू, we will work around the type of derivative, the modern, the calculation of forward, future and others, the important areas which get asked 90% time. But sometime what happen, they go for the fundamentals like ki what is derivative market, OTC versus exchange traded and all. So that's why I have provided that list aapka. If you just started, if you have seen once aapka, that is fine. This revision will help you. We will do one more session toward the आपका the complete revision part kind of, ठीक है, for the concept thing. All the important things we will be discussing there also. But for few topic, if you go for that one, that will help you. मतलब like we do not want to take any chance आपका. That's why I'm telling you. Okay. Anything else guys? ठीक है, सब शांत एकदम, इतना शांत हो गए सब लोग. All good guys. PPB आपका, if you have done with module A and B, C and D, you can watch any marathon session. That will help you, right? And if you are having a computer background, well and good. But agar nahi hai, so you can go for, or even you can read out the PDF also. PPB is more about practice. AFM is more about concept of fundamentals. PPB is more about the practice. Because like whenever you study the PPB ना, you'll feel bored. और आपको ऐसा लगेगा, this happened many time guys, कि आपको लगेगा कि सामने वाले को पढ़ाना नहीं आता, इंटरेस्ट नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है. That is not the problem actually. The problem is subject itself, कि हम वो like we know the things, so we feel bored, but there is a very thin line that create complicated. Believe me guys, in AFM, if you'll believe you will get 60 marks, at least you'll get 55 marks once you submit. But in PPB, you'll think you are going to achieve 90 marks today. It will directly come to 60 aapka or something else. Because there will be some statement that will aapka impact. I have already uploaded aapka, okay? Today in the afternoon itself, I have done some marathon session in the past. So I have uploaded those marathon. And better ki, I'll still suggest follow ma'am session. All the content which is created by the team itself, so content wala part I can take guarantee कि you will get आपका best content. No faculty create the content, only the team, content team, they prepare and I review those one, and then we आपका pass on to the faculties, even for CIIB also. So content thing is not a problem. So just go through those areas and all, that will help. In a recorded section, Harshal sir, just ping me after this session. आपका actually I have a session at 9:30 to 12. It will go 11:30 12. So just ping me whenever I'll get time. I'll share the screenshot आपका, ठीक है. Okay guys, चलो. So this is it from my side. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you for watching this session guys. See you tomorrow at same time 6 o'clock and we will continue this discussion. Do not worry, focus around concept. Still you are in game. You can manage things आपका easily, ठीक है. चलो टेंशन नहीं लेना, बस अगर आप घबरा जाओगे पहले ही तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. हाँ चलो, दिस इज इट गाइस. बाय, टेक केयर ऑल, हैव अ नाइस डे. थैंक